stay a while and listen. So, a couple weeks ago, I made a few tweets on Twitter in response to some of the FF7 conversation going around, like Hamaguchi saying that you should play the remakes before the original, and I accidentally set the entire platform on fire. The drama originally started blowing up in the FF section of Twitter, but then it snowballed out of proportion so massively that even normal people started to see it. And yeah, let's just explain, let's just dig into how that happened from start to finish. So it starts with this tweet over here, all right? By Genki. Naoki Hamaguchi says he would like people to play the FF7 remake first if they have not yet played the original FF7. Yeah, if you have not played it before, I would like you to experience the remake first with the new graphics and presentation. Have that be your first impression of the game. Now, what was interesting about this tweet, right? And you can see it got a lot of traction, like a lot of bookmarks, a lot of likes, a lot of the quote tweets of this, and this is what's so interesting. This is such a baffling statement that even people who love FF7 Remake and Rebirth were retweeting this and saying, don't do that. These are sequels, man. These are not remakes. They won't make sense unless you play the original. So the fact that even people who love this series were retweeting this saying, no, that's what are you doing? I thought that was really interesting. But I don't know, it also concerned me because whenever people say that these do not replace the original, whether he intends this or not, that feels like it's almost an intention to replace it somewhat, you know. There are a lot of people who say that after playing the remakes, they can't play the OG because, you know, their 20-year-old TikTok broccoli-haired Orange Justice dancing Fortnite flossing brains can't handle the beautiful Minecraft polygonal field models of the OG that are still beautiful to me, damn it, you know. And I'm memeing when I say that, but I have also seen people say that. They'll say that the OGs are unplayable after they've touched the remakes. I almost wonder, is that somewhat intentional? But look, let's give Hamaguchi the benefit of a doubt. Let's take off the tinfoil hat. Let's maybe just say, maybe the most basic theory, Occam's razor, is that they just want to make money. All right. Rebirth did not sell well. Part 3 will sell worse because Rebirth turned off a lot of people. Rebirth turned off a lot of people with its cringe, which is not the same as the charm or the goofy moments in the OG, all right? There's a difference between the charm of the OG and the relentless, brutal Thor Love and Thunder levels cringe in Rebirth. It turned people off because of its incredibly sluggish pacing, which again was baffling to me that I saw Hamaguchi say that he thought Rebirth was well-paced. And I see people in the comments saying that Rebirth is well-paced, and I'm like, did we play the same game? Like, the Cat Sith box throwing segment alone, like, destroys that argument. One section destroys that whole argument, and that's not the only one. You can do it, you can talk about the 3-second pauses between many of, like, every line, or what feels like every line. Just an extremely slow, ponderous pacing of the thing as a whole, which is a result of splitting this game into 3 parts. There was no reason to do that to begin with. Even if you kept it faithful, splitting it into 3 parts kind of dooms it from the start. And I hear many people say that, like, oh, FF7's too big to be one game. Well, my counter argument to that is that if The Witcher 3 and Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring can tell their stories in one game, then so can FF7. All those games are gigantically bigger than the original FF7, okay? You don't have to split this into 3 games. You don't even have to split this into 2, my god. So, as Clive would say, fuck. Torius, thank you so much for the 100 bits, man. 5 minutes into the OG, you stopped there once. That's right. Oh my god, the Mithril Mines, Torius. I forgot about that. God, the fact that there's so many more parts of Rebirth to shot-by-shot comparison to the OG is just terrifying to me. It's daunting. Yeah. So, and you know what else is crazy? I remember what the Mithril Mines in the original looked like. I don't remember what they look like in the remake at all, because it's just boring and forgettable. Bo Pink, thank you very much for the Subaru. You've purchased 15, 16 Remake Rebirth, and you have not finished one of them. I keep getting tricked! The bloke just kills me, or I'm just a sucker. You're actually not a sucker, Bo Pink. I mean, look, we are all, look, being an FF fan in this day and age is to perpetually be a sucker, all right? We keep thinking it will be different this time, even though it never is, all right? It's been 20 years and we never learn, all right? We gamble. We gamble it all on the hope that maybe this time it will be as special as it once was back then. But all it is an expensive disappointment. You know, but we keep doing it because you can't get that Final Fantasy feeling from other games. You know, people will say, oh, why don't you play these turn-based games like Octopath, Bravely Default, Dragon Quest? Well, with all due respect, the 2D, anime, low-poly 3D, pixel games, you know, that are turn-based, whatever, these fantasy sci-fis, they do not hit the same as Final Fantasy. They don't. Because if they did, then this conversation wouldn't exist, all right? They would have filled that gap in the market, you know? Problem solved. Clearly, they didn't, if people are still saying that they wish FF would go back to being turn-based. Oh, and also, that's not the only thing, and have much better storytelling. We have nowhere else to go. That's what it feels like to be an FF fan. It's like being a Tekken fan, you know what I mean? Like, Tekken 8 fans, Tekken players are not in a good place right now because Tekken 8 has completely destroyed that franchise. But the problem is, there's nowhere else to go. All right? You want another 3D fighting game where each button corresponds to a different limb? So it gives you that level of control? You don't. It doesn't exist. You're fucked. You have nowhere else to go. So yeah, I mean, that's it. You know, all the other 3D fighters are gone. Whether it's Soul Calibur, whether it's Bloody Roar, Virtua Fighter, it's like, it's it. It has no competition. You're screwed. So, and isn't it sad that my favorite fighting game is Tekken and my other favorite series is Final Fantasy? And Rebirth and Tekken 8 came out in the same month. Oh, it was not a happy month for me, I can tell you that. But it's all right, chat. It's all right. Because there's a new form of turn-based PvP, and it's called being on Twitter. All right, this is the new high-level PvP zone I've entered. All right, this is all I've got left. So, all right, I'm going to continue with this video. Thanes, thank you for the 100 bits. I've inspired you to create a mod that changes Red's voice lines back in Remake back to his real voice from Rebirth. Oh my god, Thanes, if you do that, if you mod it so Red 13 can have his real voice from the entire game from start to finish, that is fucking gold, man. That's gold. Also, I do want to say, guys, before I continue, I don't mean any disrespect to the devs, whether it be Hamaguchi, whether it be Nomura, Nojima, Kitase. All right, I'm not attacking the people, but I am criticizing the work. I am attacking the problem here, okay? So, anyway, my god. Let's continue. Where were we? All right, so back to this tweet. So I retweeted this, and I said, look, with all due respect, this, telling people to play Remake before the OG, this is like telling someone to watch the Rey Skywalker trilogy before the original Star Wars. It's like telling someone to watch Rings of Power before Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. It's like telling someone to watch The Matrix 4 before The Matrix 1. Now, some people interpreted that as saying it's a pure sequel. But again, Square is so vague about what these remakes are that not even the fandom can agree on this. Because I had to clarify this thing. I'm not talking about these being sequels. I'm talking about the difference in storytelling quality between the two. OG FF7 is concise, impactful, and memorable. Rebirth is bloated, forgettable, and cringe. To which, Rebirth is forgettable, a man that cannot stop talking about it and making videos about it. You know what? Guilty. Gosh, I'll do it again. Well, that's the thing. I would like to forget it, but it's impossible to forget this because wherever you go, wherever you want to see or talk about FF7, there's this rubbish perpetually invading the conversation and hanging over it like a bad smell. So it's like, get ready for more. What else do we have? There was, let's see the comments there. There was one talking about it. I did respond to this a lot. Yeah, thank you very much. That's weird. Did they delete it? Well, anyway, someone wrote a post that got a significant number of upvotes saying these aren't even remakes. These aren't even sequels. So you're wrong. I'm like, what the fuck are they then? The Square is so vague about what these are, and they won't give a straight answer that the fan base can't even get their story straight on what these are either. If you say it's a bad remake, they say it's a sequel. If you say it's a bad sequel, they say it's a remake, you know? So, which one is it? It seems like goalpost changing or goalpost shifting is one of the main tactics when it comes to defending these games. So, Right. Let's continue. I'll read a few of these chats and then we'll go. The irony of the 0.1% echo chamber comment is that sales figures show that the gatekeeping fans of this slop is the 0.1%. Well, let's see what that comment is. Let's have a wee gander. What was that? Your 1% echo chamber would agree. Otherwise, no one takes you seriously. Don't worry about it. Well, I thought an appropriate response to that, of course, was now, look, that was my go-to response for practically everyone who was insulting me on there. But I mean, how can you really argue with that? I mean, you know, the evidence speaks for itself right there. But the thing is, right, look, I'm not saying that no one likes these remakes. There's quite a lot of people who do like these remakes and Rebirth. There's a lot of people who don't, though. And many of the people who do love these remakes like to act like the people who don't like it don't exist, or that they are an absolute minority. The thing is, the sales of FF7 Rebirth show you what a silent majority of people really think of this. All right, so FF7 Remake Part 1 sells 7 million copies. Rebirth sells 2 million on launch. After that, it has a 91% drop-off, and then we don't know. We don't know the updated numbers after that. They just won't say. On PC, if you check VG Insights, it sold 1.5 million on PC. So the only official numbers we have is like 3.5. Now, I'm sure it's sold more on PS5 since, but it's telling that Square won't say what the official numbers are. Because to my memory, when the Pixel remasters sold 5 million copies, they announced that with the numbers proudly. Yet they have not even announced a 5 million mark for Rebirth. So, like, you know, like, you gotta... Yeah, am I being a true detective? Am I being Charlie and Sully in Philadelphia connecting the dots here? Yeah, I am. But I mean, like, I don't see an answer to that, or a counter-argument to that. I should see what the refund rate was. I don't know what that is. Holy shit. I've never looked it up. Monic, thank you for the sub. And it's Aaron, thank you for the prime. Eben, welcome in, Eben. We just began. Guys, please chuck a follow to Eben Hart. Awesome mod for my channel. We love her here. Floppy Chessballs, thank you for the 100 bits. What's the best way to support? Yes, Floppy, if you want to support, can always hop onto the coffee, which is right here. And as you can see, we have the memberships and so on and so forth. You can be a wee Bobby baby Billy over there. You can be a little Simba Billy. You can be an angry Billy, Billy in space, or maximum level Billy. Just look at that face staring right through. Look, Billy in this. Look at this, chat. My cat here looks meaner than Cloud does in FF7 Remake. All right. FF7 Remake Cloud looks like his surprised Pikachu face the entire time. You're just like, huh? Billy has more testosterone than Remake Cloud. It's ridiculous. So, but anyway, that's what it is. Angel O'Shea, thank you for gifting a Subaru to Ebenhart. Edward Hulse, good evening. I hope you voted for Expedition 33 at the Golden Joystick Awards. Yes, guys, absolutely. If you want if you want Expedition 33, if you want Clair Obscur to have a shot in the Golden Joystick Awards, please cast your vote. I personally think it's going to win Ultimate Game of the Year. I think if it doesn't, they're not doing their jobs right. But even if it doesn't, I can still live with that, you know, because it did still win. Like, we all know it did. You know, that game is going to stand the test of time. Clair Obscur is going to be one of the games you have to play, like Baldur's Gate 3, Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3, Nier Automata, Last of Us 1, God of War God of War 4, Uncharted 4, it's going to be one of those games. It already is. It will just continue. So, what's up, Krizek? Welcome in. So, Aaron, thank you. Thank you for appreciating the opinions on the game, man. Thank you. Holy shit, Irish, thank you for the 500 bittery. You having a wee Irish coffee? I appreciate that. I might break into the whiskey for mouthwashing later on, because I will need some acting juice, you know, to get into that. Just a second, I'm just going to turn down the brightness on this monitor. This is really bright. Okay. Yeah. Kevin 24/7. That's the thing. The thing is, right, while I would like it to get the award, awards aren't everything. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, think of it this way, guys. Like, whether you like Tom Cruise or not, the guy doesn't have an Oscar. I don't think he's actually won a single Oscar for Best Acting. But he's a better actor than many actors who do have an Oscar. That's true. I don't know if that's still... I haven't heard of him winning lately, but that's a thing. Daniel Day-Lewis should have gotten Best Actor for Bill the Butcher. For Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York, but he lost it to Adrian Brody in The Pianist. I'm sorry, one of these performances is one of the greatest performances of all time that every actor should study. It's one of the greatest things he's done on screen. He should have gotten that, you know. That's why I'm not too hung up about awards. It doesn't bother me too much. The Pianist is a good movie, though, and I'm not saying Adrian Brody is bad. I'm just saying that Day-Lewis should have gotten Best Actor for that. So, all right. Berserker J, take care of yourself. Also, chat, thank you very much for understanding that I can't respond to every chat right now. I'm going to get back into the drama here, and we're going to continue. So I retweeted Hamaguchi's thing. So I retweeted this thing about saying you should play the remakes before the OGs. That got some traction there. And then, what was this? Let's go back here. Now this tweet, this one went absolutely nuclear. And I'll show you exactly what it is. Let's click into it. I say that FF7 Rebirth butchered the tone of the original game. Even minor scenes like this get turned into Disney musical numbers. Now, tell me, chat. I'm going to show you two scenes, all right? You are going to see one scene in the original FF7, and then you're going to see that same scene in FF7 Rebirth. And the one question I have to ask you is that the same picture? Did the remake version capture the tone of the original? All right, let's begin. Right, so that's how the OG did it. Now let's see how, with the mere addition of voice acting and nothing else, let's see how that scene was always meant to look.
Rude, you mind? This your first time? If you want to drink with us, you're gonna have to lose the helmets. No scout, no service.
Now, I'm not saying you can't like the new scene. Maybe you do. Maybe this is what bald people do in their free time. They gather in bars, they sing about being bald and polishing their heads, and then they rub them together as an act of solidarity. Maybe you like that. However, would you say that that captures the tone of the original? Would you say that that is the same vibe? No, it's not! So, I made that tweet to talk about how the vibes of the remake and the original were different, and yes, that was one. This tweet somehow was considered rage bait and a troll and a lie, and clearly I've never played the OG, even though we all know that's not true. So, C-Thanes, thank you for the 100 bits. Amazing when one of the heads of the CIA doesn't recognize the faces of the 3 most wanted people on the planet. I know, yeah, don't get me started on that, mate. Don't get me started on that. So, as you can see, yeah, we've got... These guys look dangerous, man. Fat bloke in a wife beater with a bandana. Bloke with, you know, the vest. These guys look jacked. You know, he's got the armbands, he's got the sunnies. Rude is dangerous as fuck. This guy's just passed out on the table. Cigarette smoke. No singing, shall I say. You know, yeah. Somewhat different, all right? Slightly different. You might have to look for 5 hours before you finally notice a difference. But yeah, I think you get the point. Also, let me just respond to some people and then we'll continue with this. Trashman, thank you for the $6.50 super chat. Appreciate that. You're a legend for introducing you to Expedition 33. You've been chasing that FF9 feeling your whole life. Any other recommendations for an FF9 fan? That's a tough one. If we're going back in the past, I would say you got FF6. FF4, I think, is criminally underrated. 5 is really fun, but I'd play that after 4 and 6. Legend of Dragoon is an absolute meme. It's so fucking awesome. Dragoon has problems, but he gets away with it because it's so fucking mad. Chrono Trigger is mad as well. And yeah, just have fun with that, I would say. Torius, thank you for the 100 bits. There's a subtle bald joke in the Japanese OG, but people use that as a defense to miss the point. Yeah, no, that's the thing, Torius. Like, even if there's a line about it in the Japanese that's slightly different, it's just so clearly different in tone in every single way. It's just not, it's not an excuse. Anyone who says that's the same picture is lying to your face, which is exactly what a section of this fandom will do. A section of this fandom will look at those two scenes and they will say that that is the same. As I said, something could be black in the OG and white in the remake, and they will say it's the same color. Also, Alex Smash, thank you for the 5 gifted Subarus on Sebbywebz TV. Thank you very much for that 5-pack. Patriot, thank you for the $2. A donation for being an FF7 brother. Appreciate that. Thank you. Birdfoots, Legend Dragoon, you're obsessed with it as a kid. Dude, that game is so good. It's so, it just gets away with it. Blue, the new PC is fantastic, man. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. And Silent Observer, thank you for the $6.50. The point of the scene you had to by that scene you checked out so hard. You believe the remakes are Square seeing how hard they can push satire as an acceptable to idiot fans? Well, here's the thing, like Silent Observer. I don't think they're trying to make it as bad as possible on purpose. Because they want to make money at the end of the day. It can't be this weird art piece where they're seeing what they can get away with. I think they're just aiming FF7 Remake for Disney adults and Marvel fans, specifically the Guardians of the Galaxy fans. Like, if you think of this as FF7 Love and Thunder, FF7 Guardians of the Galaxy, FF7 Disney Edition, it all makes sense, but they can't be trying to make it bad on purpose. What it feels like, oh my god. Oh my god! Is that Madison? Guys, please chuck the very beautiful and awesome Madison a follow. She also knows the truth about Red 13's voice. It sucks. But yeah, she also loves a few JRPGs herself. Chuck her a wee follow. And yeah, check her out. Welcome in, Madison. Thank you for that raid. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Madison, we're actually just doing a YouTube video right now about the Final Fantasy drama, which which I didn't mean to cause, guys, all right? I made a few tweets. I didn't mean to burn down the whole website, but, you know, that's just the way it is. Oh my god, Shadow, thank you for the $10 super chat. Sebby, you've been watching the shorts. If I was making FF17, what I want it to be, medieval or modern sci-fi? That's a trick. You know what the weird thing is, Shadow? Thank you again for that super chat. I cannot envision what FF17 could be. Like, 16 was their medieval one. 15 was like a contemporary... wasn't really sci-fi. It was like subtle sci-fi contemporary. And they wouldn't want to do like some sort of like Star Wars-ish, rusted, steampunkish thing like FF7 because they've already done that with the remake and rebirth. I don't know what they could do. I actually really honestly struggle to think what they could aesthetic they could come up with 17. Space? Fuck it. Just learn from Mass Effect. Just chuck it in space. I don't know. It's just something. I don't know what... If I was them, I wouldn't know what to do. So, yeah. Also, Peace Walker, thank you for that $5 super chat. Good to see a Sebby rant in action. Huge fan of the OG, but new ones not so much. Not a fan of the pacing and the vibes. Yeah, the pacing and the vibes are gigantic, legitimate criticisms of those games, and it's sad to see what happened. Yeah, I don't know, chat. I actually honestly struggle. I cannot visualize or picture an FF17 in my head, and that's worrying when you think about it. So, don't shade on the Kingdom Hearts fans, JT. I actually had someone in the Kingdom Hearts fandom in my comments say, like, look, man, I don't like these remakes, but please don't compare them to Kingdom Hearts, because that's almost insulting to Kingdom Hearts, man. And they explained how some of the ideas that just get lifted from Kingdom Hearts and put in the remakes are not done as well in the remakes as they are done in KH. And the thing is, Kingdom Hearts, you're fighting alongside Goofy and Donald Duck. Of course there should be a childish tone to it. It would feel weird otherwise. Like, it fits. I had no issue with that at all. But that childish tone does not belong in FF7. It doesn't. You know, just because the OG had a few goofy moments, a few charming moments, does not mean that it is now this. Should be ashamed of yourself. Say that's the same picture as this. You know, anyway. Alex Smash, thank you for that 100 Bitteroo. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I apologize if I'm missing some chats, guys, but we're gonna get back here. All right, so. Just one second. So I'm just sorting something out on the technical end of this. Okay. All right. Fuck. Let's continue. So where was I? Yeah, so this tweet is one that spiraled out of control. Like, people were disagreeing with this, but people were getting angry about this one. And let's have a look at the comments. Let's see the warm reception to this tweet, which was, "You must be trolling, I can't take you seriously." 350 likes. Rebirth feels like a troll, is what I said. 50 likes. Hey, you know what? Proves I'm the underdog. But for real, this kind of shows you the bubble that, with all due respect, a lot of the FF7R fandom lives in, because there is no counter-argument here. There's none. These are clearly different scenes. These are clearly different vibes, clearly different tones. This could almost be something out of Metal Gear Solid. This is like Entangled when they go into the bar and all the villains are singing about how they may look evil, but they're actually nice guys, or something like that. I think that's the movie. But what a lot of the FF7R fandom will do is they will just say you didn't play the OG game, they'll call you wrong, or whatever, fake fan, and then they all upvote each other to look right. But one thing they never do is provide any counter-arguments or any evidence that disproves your point. They never do it. And what I like so much about Twitter is that you can attach evidence to everything you say. They can do that as well. They just don't, for the most part. And maybe they did, maybe I lost it in some of the comments somewhere, but I didn't see it for the most part. Farming this gimmick for all it's worth. It's not a gimmick, it's a fact. It's called fun. It's called shit. I mean, look, I am being a bit childish with my responses here, but like, when people, like, you know, okay, look, I'm just fucking about, all right? It was actually great in Remake. Stop whining. No. See, that's where I'm like, you know in Lord of the Rings, where Hugo Weaving's like, cast the ring into the fire. He's just like, no. That's just my response whenever anyone tells me to stop. You sound like someone who didn't play the OG game. I did play the OG game. Then you know how silly it can be. And here's my answer to that, which is the OG FF7 is a serious game with silly moments, whereas Rebirth is a clown show that can't even do its serious scenes well. All right? It is non-stop cringe, and it is non-stop cringe and embarrassing in a way that the original was not. All right? We all lived through, for those of us who lived through that time period, no one said, bro, you gotta play FF7. It's cringe. It's embarrassing. It's a real clown show. You know, it's like, no, it wasn't. It was considered unusually mature. It was considered unusually mature and very serious in tone for its time. It was very respected. It raised the bar of what video games could do in a way. Certain scenes like Red 13 discovering the truth about his father, Dine's suicide, Eris's death, these were more powerful and moving to many of us who played it than actual movie scenes were. It was unbelievable what this game was able to do for its time, and that is what that game was famous for. That game was not famous for being cringe, all right? Rebirth, on the other hand, it's non-stop shenanigans, and as we've seen with Dine's death scene, Red 13 discovering the truth of his father, C2, Eris's death scene, it can't even do its serious scenes well. For many people who played Rebirth, the one scene that actually got an emotion out of a lot of people was the expanded scene of Eris as a child when she's walking around Midgar asking people to help her mum because she's sick and dying. The feeling of walking around as this defenseless kid with her music playing, just like asking people for help, it did something. In fact, many reviewers have even said they felt more in that scene than when she actually died. You know what I mean? So, that's what I would say. The OG FF7 is a serious game with silly moments. Rebirth is a clown show that can't even do its serious scenes well. Except that one scene. And even that Eris scene, the flashback child scene, they ruin it because they have no subtlety. There's a bit where she bumps into a guy and he just moves back and she falls on the floor, you know, this 5-year-old kid, and he's like, and stay down, brat. And the women he's with are like, oh my god, you just pushed a kid. That's so hot. It's like, man, look, you don't have to do that, man. Like, we get it, all right? We get it. You don't have to be that unsubtle. It could have just been like, she falls over and he's like, hey, watch where you're going, you know? Like, not bullying her, but just like indifferent, you know? It just would have been better. It's stupid, you know? Even one of the best new scenes in the game got ruined by Disney adult writing. What else can I call it? So, all right, let's continue. Why Sakari, thank you for the thank you for the $10. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for speaking the truth about FF7 Remake. 7 Remake might have been saved if Sakaguchi was part of the team, as opposed to this multiverse nonsense. Should have put his timeline stuff into... Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. I don't know if Sakaguchi would have even been on board with something like this. Like, I don't know. I think, you know what I think would be funny? and I don't know, maybe just we'll have to reenact this or get AI to do it. I would love to see the ending of Remake Part 3 and the credits are rolling, and then it just shows like Sakaguchi like sitting there drinking a beer and he just throws the beer at his TV. That's it. If someone can make that, if there's an AI prompt for that, I would fucking react to that on stream. That's just, I don't know, that idea in my head, I've got that visual and I can't get it out. It's just so funny. The idea of like, I can picture him reacting to like Cloud parrying Sephiroth in Eris's death and Sakaguchi just being like, Namura! But yeah, with all due respect to the creatives, you know, I just think it's funny, you know, but it's sad. I hope Sakaguchi's all right, you know. Sakaguchi, if you're out there, if you're watching, we forgive you for Spirits Within, you know. You've done your time, you know, and you didn't even need to do that. Square needs you back. Or at the very least, they need someone like you back. They need a director who can focus these mad creatives into a coherent, specific whole, all right? Like, I think the guys working on Square today, I think they're a bunch of deranged geniuses, all right? I think they've got immense creative potential, but they need someone to focus them, to trim them, to guide them, to tell them, let's not use all of your idea. Maybe 50% of that's good, or maybe 30%, or whatever, but like, it's a mess without him. It's a mess without a figure like him. So, Eben, you don't forgive him for Spirits Within. You saw that crap in the theater. You talked your mum into taking it. It was bad. Eben, I did that with my dad, you know. And at the end, he and I were just like, what was that? Because he'd seen me play Final Fantasy, and he's like, that was nothing like those games you were playing. I'm like, yeah, I know. What the hell was that? So, anyway, let me read some chats, and then we'll continue with this. Blimmy blam. And then, yeah. We get the picture with this. So we'll move on to the next tweet after that. I'm going to respond. Sorry, we got a few super chats. I'm going to respond to those on the fly, and then we'll continue. C-Thanes, thank you for the 100 bits. You cried the entire way through Rebirth. You were sad about your childhood being ruined. Yeah, I may have cried on the inside, but you'll never see a real-life tear from me. Unless I voice act the original FF7, the superior version. Silent Observer, they did kill Eris. What happened with the multiple world thing? Cloud talking to her? Cloud me a crazy. That's the thing, Silent Observer, we don't know. It's just Schrodinger's Eris at this point. Like, did Cloud save her? Or did he split the universe in half and she's alive in one and not the other? Is she dead and Cloud's just crazy and in denial? Or did Eris from Advent Children come into our time to help out? Or is it Jenova in disguise? Who knows? Who cares? It's bullshit! They ruined it! And even if it shows that she is dead in part 3, and that's when Cloud realizes it, all they've done is add extra steps to the scene. That's all they've done. They've just made it more bloated. How is that an improvement? Just, you know what I mean? The original is simple and clean, and it is still powerful and effective to this day for a reason. So, Ryu, thank you for the Primu. Thank you very much. Gianni, thank you for the $2.30. Same with FF16 players. Have I played Tactics? Oh, I love Tactics. I love it. It's on my VODs channel. So, all right. Let's see. FF7 Rebirth had a disappointing ending. Well, now people are saying it was supposed to be disappointing. It's like, mate, if someone comes up to you and kicks you in the balls, and you're like, oh God, why did you do that? That was terrible. If they go, I was supposed to kick you in the balls, are you going to be like, oh, you were meant to do that. Oh, that feels great. Oh, please, sir, may I have another? No, it's fucking stupid, man. It's dumb. It's like if a chef made food bad on purpose. Are you going to be like, it was supposed to be bad? Oh, well, in that case, it's great. I've always wanted to eat food that was shit deliberately. No, it's stupid. It's a cope BS bullshit argument. Wesley Eaton, thank you for the $5 super chat. I think Professor Noctis deserves some cred for how he treated you. That was nice to see. Love these streams and appreciate you a bunch. I got a lot of love for Professor Noctis, actually. I actually have a lot of respect for him, that while it was fashionable to take a shit on me on Twitter, he did not, all right? I actually respect that, you know? Because, is anyone else lagging bad? Oh, are we lagging? Stream is lagging? Uh-oh. Fuck. Let me check something out real quick. Oh, what's my output? Only on YouTube. Twitch is fine, YouTube is balked? Oh, dang. Okay. Bang, our bitrate for... It should be the same for Twitch and YouTube, right? It could just be... Could be trying to upload two things at once. What could it be? The Turks are after him? My Twitch chat seems fine. Oh, there's an ad break in process? It's stuttering on YouTube. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm fucking sorry, mate. YouTube is popping now. It was at the start. Oh no, the Fate Ghosts are rewriting my YouTube stream. Yeah. I have not played the game yet. Dita, I'm sorry. Every 5 seconds I'm lagging. Bang, do you think if I lowered the bitrate of OBS, would that affect both? Would that sort it out? I don't know, man. Everyone join the Twitch stream. Otherwise we're fucked. Torius, thank you for the 100 bits. You go know the rules of writing again for your Final Fantasy setting on tabletop, and you had to compare some of those rules to Rebirth. Yeah, it breaks... No, it's insane how much it breaks those rules. It's like nuts, man. So... You don't like Twitch? Boo, yeah. Someone used Holy on YouTube? YouTube is unwatchable. Why is that? Why might that be, chat? Again, guys, look, this is my first ever YouTube stream. We're gonna have some technical difficulties here. Yeah. So. What do you mean, these ads? I shouldn't have, I mean, hang on, is it? Let's see. Let me just sort something out here. That shouldn't be there. But that should be there. Okay. Right. YouTube is like 1 FPS. We gotta drop the bitrate on YouTube. Bang, is there a way to do that? Sorry. 5-minute ad? Is that on YouTube or on Twitch? Because there should only be 3-minute ads on my Twitch channel. Alright. Barug, thank you for that Prime. Bang, how do we adjust it? Because I can adjust the bitrate on OBS. I don't see where there's a YouTube specific bitrate. That's the thing. I don't see how to adjust that specifically. Do you know what that might work? No ads on YouTube? I think there's ads on YouTube, but like you just have to. I just hit the default on that. You'll message me in Discord? Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Sorry guys, technical difficulties, but it's gotta be done. YouTube is being DDoSed. Jeebus. Is that happening on other YouTube streams? Arupai, welcome in. Thank you for enjoying the Claire Obscure VODs. I'll respond to some chats while we get this sorted. Thank you for enjoying the Claire Obscure VODs. And thank you for enjoying the stream. World Best Dad, you're above the age of 35 and you dislike the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Well, you know World's Best Dad? You were right. You came to the right stream. Alright, bang. We got this. Let's have a look. Multi-stream. Okay. Ah, got it. Alright, let's do that. Hang on, I'm just looking at this. Sorry, chat. We're just... Multi-stream. So I start there. Cog here. Alright. Chat, we're fixing it. We're fixing it. Okay. Advanced settings? Hang on. Ah, there we go. Got it. Sorry, chat, I'm just, being a boomer. I'm sorry, mate. How are you getting that, though? I'm not getting that. Bang, you've got video encoder. Why don't I have that thing below you? I've just got video encoder and it says main encoder. I don't have the one below that. I don't have video encoder index. Sorry, chat. Look, we like, first YouTube stream. It's gonna happen. We're gonna do it. Yeah, I don't know how to find the video encoder index part of that, sadly. It's not in output settings either. Yeah, so bang, the image you showed me, video encoder, I don't have encoder index below that. Show you what it says in video encoder. Alright, we've got... it says main encoder. It's exactly what yours says. And then it's just like the usual things, NVIDIA things and all that. AOM, SVT, 264. Bang to bloody tick wizard, ladies and gentlemen. No, appreciate it, dude. Thank you for helping out, man. Wesley Types, thank you very much for the Prime. Appreciate that. And Bald Eagle, thank you so much for the sub. Ever Music, thank you for the Prime. You know what? You were right. And Pearly Snow, thank you very much for the Prime as well. Thank you for putting into words why FF7R feels so off. It wasn't easy, Pearl, but I found a way. Took a while, but I think I sort of got there. Thank you. And Barugat, thank you again for that Prime. Alright, I'm just gonna... Sorry, chat, we just gotta fix this. Ah, thank you. Appreciate it. Got it, bang. Alright. We might be there, guys. There you are, you cheeky bastard. Alright, I'm putting it down to 4,500. It was at 6K before, which was stuttering on YouTube as well. Alright, YouTubers, just give it a moment. Give it a moment. I'll be streaming on YouTube at 4,500 bit kilobytes, whatever, kilograms, instead of 6,000. Because I actually had to drop that on Twitch as well. When Twitch it was 6,000, worked for a long time, and then it balked until we did 4,500. It should be better. Everyone refresh the YouTube. Should be okay. It should be a bit better, maybe. And I'll just respond to some chats before we continue. Sorry about that. Once the stream is going again, we'll continue following the drama. Bariga, you're following the Metal Gear VODs? Oh, dude, Metal Gear, though, man, Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, especially 2, was... That was so fun on stream. 2, I fucking love. That might be my favorite Metal Gear Solid, to be honest. And I'm not saying that the others are worse. I'm just saying they all attempt to do different things, and I loved what 2 was doing. Whatever. Get real. So. Alright. Pablo, they came for the YouTube side as well. How's everyone on YouTube looking? Are you guys okay? Everyone on YouTube, refresh. Are we still stuttering? Are we still fucked, as Clive might say. Yeah, Crimson. Yeah, it's still buffering after the refresh. I could drop it further. Still no improvements on YouTube. Why would that be? Why would that be? Oh god, I'll drop it lower, but that's gonna be very sad, won't it? I'll drop it lower. I'll drop it. It's behind, so when it catches up, you jump back 2 minutes in and the rant is amazing. Appreciate that. I'll tell you what, let's sit with it for 4,500 bits for a bit. If it still sucks, we'll drop that down to like, I don't know, 3,500. Is that bad? Is that like, will I be streaming at like 140p at 3,000 bits? Is that really bad? YouTube is still behind by 5 minutes. So YouTube, hang on a YouTube stream you can't come back to live? Or... Surely you can jump to the live thing. Or is it just that's where it is right now? YouTube stream is better for you now, Weiss, but it's still fucked for you, Milton. Fuck. Is your upload speed good? Oh, well, it's 15 megs per second. All right, it's Australia. We have third world internet here. It sucks. Shit. So, but it's always been fine for Twitch. It's just chugging. Okay, I'm gonna lower it even more. Bang, thanks for helping me find out how to do that. I'm gonna knock YouTube, guys, down to 3,000 kilobytes. I know, that seems horrible, but... Fuck. It's done. Alright. Maybe I'm being astro... Still buffering a bunch? Oh, God. Might be because it's multi-streaming. Yeah, no, first multi-stream, guys. So... Yeah. Fuck. You love my FF Tactics VODs, Star Welter? Oh, that was so fun. I love streaming that game. And my shot-by-shot comparison of Eris's death changed your mind? That's gonna be a really intense YouTube... That's gonna be a good YouTube video. Yeah. I'm ruining your Twitch boycott, Johnny? Yeah, sorry, mate. Oh, you watched the Kingdom Hearts VODs? Oh, yeah, I got killed a lot in that. I deserved it as well. Fucking Straya. Stream's lagging. Sammy, only on YouTube. It's fine on Twitch. Sounds like a use case for restream. Is there a question, chat? Is this a problem with multi-streaming? Is this like a known thing? That you need a lot, like a really big, I don't know, upload thing? Or that YouTube can just get balked? YouTube is just cooked? How are other YouTube live streams right now? I mean, surely a DDoS would just be like, you can't use the internet, period, right? Or am I just fucked? I don't know. 1 keyframe for 60 FPS. Wait, hang on. Is it trying to stream on 60 FPS to YouTube? Oh, piss off. Hold on. Just a minute. I'm going to bump that to 30, alright? I'm sorry. I know you don't like that, but it's... We're going to try. DDoS will cut off your full net. Yeah. Okay, YouTube's on 30 frames. That's got to do something. That's got to do something, goddammit! That's got to do something! Thank you, Bizamon, for reminding me of that. YouTube is touchy for a good game. Even for those single streaming. Try to push past 1K and it hates you. Really? Fuck. Brandscape, how good is the Chrono Cross music? Better than lagging, Tony Royd? Welcome in. So, look, I'm sorry, YouTubers. Sorry that you had to hop into Twitch. 8-Bit Doll, welcome in. Rip YouTube. It was 60 FPS? Fuck. Well, guys, okay, we bumped YouTube down to 3,000 bits and 30 FPS. That's got to do something, man. It's got to do something, god damn it. How many kilobytes am I using for the stream? 4,500 on Twitch, 3,000 on YouTube right now. 60 FPS on Twitch, because it can handle it. 30 FPS, because apparently YouTube can't handle that, so... Fuck. Might have to hard restart it. Okay, I'll do that. Did that do it? Do I have to... I'm pressing it and it... Do I have to... Please tell me I don't have to start and restart the entire stream. Surely I can just do that with the YouTube thing, right? Damn it, Shearer! Make that goddamn tea! Do I think I'll stream Vagrant Story one day? I don't know. I didn't grow up with it. I don't have that nostalgia with it, but I hear it's really good. I hear it's, like, very well written. Yeah. Multi-streaming requires significant upload bandwidth. If your internet cannot handle high-quality stream, you experience choppy video lag, drop frame on one or all streams. What's the encoder? It was SVT. But... Oh, my YouTube stream's done. Alright, I'm going to start it up again, guys. I'm going to start it up again. So, look, my specs are like Ryzen 9 9000. It should be able to handle that. Graphics card is Ryzen... No, sorry, is 570 Ti. It should work. What's my upload speed? It's fucking 15 megabytes. It's 15 megabytes. It's Australia, alright? Don't judge me. I can't help it. So, the YouTube stream is back on. How's it looking now, guys? How's it looking? Yeah, the machine will absolutely be good. It's really just Australian internet that's fucked. I'm sorry, guys. I know this isn't very interesting right now, and I know we want to get to the drama, but like, first ever YouTube stream. Let's just rip the band-aid off. Let's just fix all the technical problems now and just sort it out for, you know, it'll be worth it in the long run. Restream would be the best. This is a test, absolutely. Yeah, like I'm doing what I can, mate. So, yeah. Okay, let me just refresh this. Yeah, damn. I'm looking at my YouTube stream right now. Let's pop it in 720. Damn, it's still freezing on my end as well. Fuck. Not happy, Sonny Jim. Not happy at all. Still loading. Sweet death. Good night. Take care of yourself. Laughs in American internet, JT. Yeah. I'm wondering. I'm going to look up something real quick, chat. It was fine for the first 2 hours. So, yeah, so why is it not fine now? Is multi-streaming impossible in Australia? No, it is not impossible. It is legal and popular practice. Oh. Well, fuck you, man! Why does Australian internet suck so... Wait, if I say suck... Why is Australian... No, I might get an actual suck. Why is Australian internet so bad? Large landmass and low population density. Infrastructure is costly to build. Oh, I hear excuses, mate, alright? Vast distances, geographic challenges, copper wire limitations. Oh, piss off. NBN structure. political and economic factors, political decisions to use cheaper, older technology instead of fiber have been cited as a major reason for the slow speeds and the poor performance of the bloody network. Well, you know what, mate? That is the most un-Australian thing I've ever seen in my life. Disgusting. Fucking Bob Hawke would be very bloody disappointed in this, mate. Bloody Gough Whitlam wouldn't have done this. So, not happy, mate. But, yeah. You got fiber, it's the bee's knees. Imagine not having fiber for infrastructure. No, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. Yeah. Check your encoder settings. Oh, we back? We back. All right. I don't know what changed, guys. I don't know what changed, but it's suddenly working, apparently. So what we got? 3,000 bits for YouTube and 30 frames per second. All right, but it's fine because the human eye can't tell the difference between 30 and 60 frames. So it's fine, all right? It's more cinematic on YouTube. Jeez Louise, this refresh YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for waiting patiently. I'm gonna knock on wood. Let's not jinx it. Bang, you're an absolute... Everyone follow my man Bang. Everyone follow my man Bang for helping sort out the technical problems with this stream. All right, he's not just a bloody whiz kid. He's a true blue Australian. All right. Seathines, thank you for that 100 bits. And Silent Observer, thank you for the $2.60. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to take a piss, guys, and then we'll continue covering the drama. How's that sound? And while I take a piss, let's see. I'll play one of my music videos, all right? You've all seen the sing-along to Final Fantasy and how it ruined my sex life, but now you're going to see the certified gangster rap hood classic. This is a rap version of an original song called Increasing My Virginity. All right, I'll be right back.
Increase in my virginity. Decrease in my virility. Increase in my sterility. Decrease in my fertility. Increase in my fragility. Decrease my masculinity. Escape in my reality. Every single time that I'm playing Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 15 minutes on the loading screen. Tell your mom to shut her face. You gotta win this chocobo race. Hanging out with Gladio, Prompto on his chocobo. Loading where I wanna go, we're in the Virgin Rodeo. In this game, I am a winner. My waifu is a girl named Shiva. What is sex? Don't gotta have it. All I need is my boy Bahamut. Ignis got a recipe to nuke your sexuality. A bowl of Final Fantasy will increase your virginity. Oh, yeah, protecting my virginity from these girlfriends who are trying to take this game from me. All these fly girls who are begging for some TLC when all I wanna do is stay at home and play the DLC. Don't you understand? I don't care about your problems. All I wanna do is pop my limit break with Noctis. I don't need a woman when this game fulfills my every need. I am only happy when I'm playing Final Fantasy. Increase in my virginity. Decrease in my virility. Yeah, embrace your destiny. A lifetime of virginity. No responsibility, only Final Fantasy. Increase in my virginity. Decrease in my virility. Increase in my virginity. Decrease in my virility. Increase in my virginity. Decrease in my virility. Increase in my virginity. Decrease in my virility.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, get out of here. We want to listen to real music here, like my FF15 rap videos. If you want the link to that video, ladies and gentlemen, there it is in chat. Right there in my Twitch chat. And, fucking about. Let's get back to this. Thor, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the 6-monthery on Sebbywebz TV. Dude, I had a good break. I needed it, man. I fucking needed it. Oh my god. So, Also, Metal Crazy, thank you for the 100 bits. Appreciate that. Stream's working. Thanks again, Silent Observer. Mega Ran, I don't know that. What a banger. Appreciate that, Titanium. Bring back the Chrono Cross music. We've already moved on at this point. We'll be back there. Thank you, Clacy, for the #1 hit. You're gonna dance to that song at your wedding, JT? Oh, God. Best thing you've ever heard to come out of FF15. Hydrophobic. Thank you very much. Krilly Data, good to see ya. All right. Okay, as a bald person, I feel personally attacked by the bald scene in FF7 Rebirth. Right, so. All right, chat. We're back. Let's continue covering the drama of Final Fantasy VII on Twitter. All right, we're back. Let's do this. So, that was the first tweet that started doing the rounds with everyone angry with me about this. This also was a thing. And then this one, oh my God, I thought this would just get like 40 likes, and a few people who agree with me would enjoy this as well. However, this also this really set the platform on fire, this one. All right. Now, the tweet is called, "The cringe in FF7 Rebirth is next level. Who is this even made for?" Ladies and gentlemen, don't say I didn't warn you. And don't look away. This is real. This is in the game.
Just listening. You've got a great voice.
Oh, you flatter me. I didn't even know I was doing it. You see, this cat I feed sometimes has gone missing. And when I worry, I cannot help but sing. Long I've dreamed of opening my home to little ones to play and romp and love. La 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 la.
Shut up!
Just listening.
Stop! This is FF7 Love and Thunder, ladies and gentlemen. This is ridiculous. This is stupid. And it doesn't matter that it's a bloody side quest, all right? You put that in God of War. You put that in Metal Gear Solid. You put that in The Witcher. You put that in anything. And it's stupid, all right? My God, it's appalling. Get out. This is for Disney adults, all right? So so as you can imagine, that tweet was very warmly received among the FF7 Remake community. And yes, this also did snowball into astronomical... this also did snowball, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Let me get the music back on. Right. And we'll address some of the controversy and the gaslighting around this scene and stuff. Silent Observer, thank you for the $6.50 super chat. It's 2 a.m., 4 beers deep. I'm about to get my 5th. Glad I'm off work tomorrow. Enjoying this live stream. Love the YouTube vids. Hey, dude, thank you so much. Enjoy that beer. I might get on a bit of a whiskey myself. You spam skip on that woman singing. Thank you for the 250. It's brutal, isn't it, mate? It's brutal. Touching Turd. Welcome in. Hang on. Just a second. I'm just checking one thing with my YouTube stream. This way, did I close it? Or is it still here? Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Alright, let's continue. Sorry, just technical stuff. Back here. You bet it was a forgettable Aladdin NPC from 16 who suggested singing to Nomura. Well, I mean... There is an article where Nomura said he wanted to make FF15 a musical after seeing the Hugh Jackman movie of Les Miserables. This is real. And I think Square... I think even Square vetoed that. That's a true story. You can look that up. FF10-2's director is a co-director for this. And someone even told me that Eris singing her Disney musical number was Kitaze's idea. So, it doesn't make me feel any better to know that there are 3 musical theater people working on the FF7 Remake project. Oh, God almighty. But yeah, welcome to hell. This is real. So, Eben, I'm gonna make you a mod in the YouTube channel. I'm gonna see if I can find you guys here. Let's see. Just gonna see if I recognize any of my mods in there. Eben, Eoja, any of my mods, if you hop into my YouTube chat, I'll see if I can mod you. Because I just should do that. So, alright. Then make something that's completely different. FF7's not the landscape of that, Homer. Now, here's the funny thing. This is where the remake community, or members of the remake community, will argue with you. Let's have a look at what we have down here. So you all saw that tweet. You all saw it. Before blocking you, I just want to say you are pathetic for these rage baits that you are posting. 309. I thought that was a rather good tweet, ladies and gentlemen. I thought it actually pointed out a legitimate problem, because here's the thing. There are people who might like that, all right? But most normal people don't. Scenes like that are massively cringe and a huge turnoff. For these games, and if Square wants to know why their games aren't selling as well, it's because of shit like that. Anyway, I gave this person a very mature response, which was I may have used that quite a bit in some of these, but like also, and people would say I was being rude or whatever. Look, if people are respectful to me and they disagree with me, I'm respectful back. But if people insult me to my face, like, I'm not going to insult back, but I'm going to take a joking tone, all right? I'm going to have fun with it. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm sorry. No, change my ways. You know, like, come on, man. Like, fuck, I'm going to stand up for myself. Patriot, thank you for the $5 super chat. I love musicals, and even I could enjoy an FF musical, but I admit that's not the majority of our fandom. That's the thing, Patriot. I'm not even against musicals, all right? But I have been around long enough to know that musical theatre has a very nasty habit of inserting itself into places where it doesn't belong, all right? The number of times I've been watching a good show or a good movie and then they just can't help themselves. They have to pull a musical number. That boils my blood. It's like, listen, mate, we have a quarantine zone for this entertainment. It's called musical theatre, all right? We have a quarantine zone for this nonsense, these silly goose shenanigans. The reason it is a genre is so it doesn't bleed out into other genres. Get the fuck out of my comedies, get the fuck out of my action movies, my science fictions, my fantasies, get out, all right? Anyway, not fucking about. Let's continue. You know what I mean, Septimus. So, I'm just gonna check my thing. Ebonart, I'll see you. I'll see you there. You are a mod. Okay, there you go. We'll make you a managing moderator. All right, I'm just Eoja here. Let me moderate you, mate. There you go. You can do your thing, mate. I appreciate that, Eben, Eoja. Thank you so much, guys. Be super nice to my mods. All right, they are my mods for a reason. Now, let's fucking continue. Indian movies. I actually like Bollywood. I think, look, the thing is, we all know that's going to happen in a Bollywood movie. It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise punch in the balls. So, oh my god, Tori, is that soy face? Oh my god, Lamau. All right, so let's continue with the riveting reception of this tweet. I hope they had another 100 silly scenes in the next part just to annoy you specifically. You know what? I actually respect that. You know what? You all right. So, I mean, well, that's a material for 100 new vids. So, you have bad taste and shit opinions. The sooner you move on to a different series, the better. This scene is good taste. Let's see what I have. Now, here's a very interesting one. My favorite thing is when people show that they haven't played FF7. 170 likes. So I'm like, okay, where is this in the OG game? No, seriously, where is this in the original game? And let's see where this thread goes. In the OG, there's a person who was in that house and they tell you, like, to get out. That's true, okay? When does that NPC burst out into song multiple times? Yeah. Nope. Nope. No. Now, I'll tell you what. Let's do a little investigation here, all right? So, if I didn't like that scene, if I didn't like the singing lady, then clearly I haven't played the OG. She's there, right? Okay? If I play the OG, I should have expected that. let's have a look at how that scene is in the OG. Because I am this much of a spiteful person, which is a fantastic motivator, by the way, I have a tweet which is yet to be released. You know, I thought it was time to hold off for a bit. But let's have a look at how that scene was in the OG versus how it was in the remake. Let's see, where is it? There you are. Okay. Are you ready, chat? Are you ready? Okay. Olds Coolers, thank you very much for the $5. Nomura has never gotten over not getting Make versus 13, and it bleeds into everything he does for the past 10 years. That's, look, I honestly don't know. It's a pity that 13 got turned into 15. Then again, from what I've heard about 13, it was versus 13, it was like just a set of cool ideas, but not really a concept. But yeah, I don't know. The musical thing is the most egregious thing. The thing is, once you know that he wanted to make FF15 a musical, you suddenly understand Prompto. Prompto behaves like a musical theatre kid. And as someone who has been to acting school for 3 years, I know exactly what this kind of person is like. You know, you'll be sitting there at the dinner table and just be like, they'll just burst out into like, this burger is amazing. Like they can't help themselves. Now I actually like them. I actually quite like them because they're like fun, nice people to be around. But you know, there's also a limit to this. How would I say? It can be an acquired taste, all right? There's a time and place for this sort of thing. And that time is not every time, okay? And that time is no time for certain things. Anyway, let's continue. All right, theatre kids are a thing. Fuck, I'm a theatre kid, Jesus, you know. But I also tried to weather myself in the real world by doing manual labour, by doing forklift driving, demolition, road construction. You know, I did that for a few years, and I think that de-theatre kidded me a bit. I think that made me a bit more of a normal person, all right? So, underwater boat, welcome in, stay a while and listen. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's do this, all right? Let's do this. Here we go. So we've all seen that tweet, all right? The singing lady. My favorite thing is when people show that they haven't played FF7. Okay, so I guess that singing lady's in the original. All right. Let's see the one scene that NPC has in the original. See if you can spot the difference. Now, that has a certain atmosphere, right? That has a certain tone, doesn't it? Let's see how that scene looks in Rebirth. And ladies and gentlemen, just remember, this is exactly the same.
Let's take a little bit.
According to the FF7 Remake fandom, this is the same picture.
Your house since I was, what, 7, 8?
Is it really mine, though?
Oh dear, may I help you?
Just listening. You've got a great voice.
Oh, you flatter me. I didn't even know I was doing it. You see, this cat I feed sometimes has gone missing. And when I worry, I cannot help but sing.
Hey. Sounds like a job for a merc, doesn't it?
Why, I sing whenever the mood strikes, really. Haven't you ever felt like bursting into song?
No, I can't say I have.
Long I've dreamed of opening my home.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Cut. Next. Thank you. So now, chat. Let me ask you a question. All right. Let me ask you a question. You all saw that, and then you saw this. Is that the same scene? If someone doesn't like this, would you say, oh, someone hasn't played the original? Would you say that the new one captured the tone of this scene? Would you say that was the same vibe? Would you say that that feels like the original, even remotely in any way at all? Spoilers, no! But as I say, guys, this is how, let me put this back on. As I say, this is how not all, but a lot of the FF7 fan base will argue. They lie to your face, then they all upvote each other so they look right. All right? They can do this in text form. But what they can't do is use evidence, because the evidence isn't on their side. They never engage with the argument, and whenever they try, you get like the world's longest essay full of mental backflips and excuses that they would never make for any other game or any other company. So, Virtual Villain, thank you for the Subaru. Silent Observer, thank you for the 250. She's called Head Chef, not Cloud's mum. No, that's not Cloud's mum. That's just some random NPC. What I showed in the OG, that's the only line she has, from what I've seen. Silent Hill is in the VODs, Kobe. I just gave up on that. I just gave up. Where's the original? That's the thing. The atmosphere is completely gone from that. Like, the OG's atmosphere is crushing. It's almost depressed. There's something grimdark about it. It is dark. You know what I mean? But what a lot of, as I say, not all, but a vocal section of this fanbase does, is they rewrite history around this game. They say that the original FF7 was this absolutely ridiculous Disney musical clown fest, an absolute cringe show. It was embarrassing to watch, and that is why it was famous, and that is why it was so respected. It's bullshit. It's the reason I make these videos, because I don't care if anyone likes it, but I cannot stand the lies and the gaslighting and the bullying that surrounds this game, you know. Patriot, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Thank you. Make an FF music video. I'm not going to do a music. Oh my God, help me. Jordash, FF7 works because it... Yeah, well, FF7 works because it's just very gritty, as you say, Pearly. Wildlife, as an FF fan, you try not to mix with that side of the fan base. Wildlife, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. There's other content creators who, even they know, they like these games, but they also know they don't want to engage with a very aggressive section of the fan base, you could say. OG was campy and goofy, but it had soul, which is rare in games. Crouch and watch. Yeah, and as soon as you do a side-by-side showing of the OG with the remake, it is so painfully apparent how different they are in tone, vibe, character, story, pacing, quality, art direction, cinematography, use of music, use of dialogue. They are unbelievably different in every single way, to the point where Remake and Rebirth feel like Skinwalker games. They feel like an FF7 mod, skin mod of a different game. That's what they feel like, you know. Shadowversity, you two. I don't know who that. I should know who that is. I should know more YouTubers, to be honest. But thank you. Jordan Peterson himself couldn't mentally wriggle his way out of the stuff. Oh god. Well, we won't bring that up over here. So let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue. The scene is supposed to be grim and upsetting. How is his town there? Yeah, it's weird. What am I going to play next, Ilberio? After I finish covering the FF drama, I'm going to do mouthwashing today. So, yeah. OGFF doesn't need to say how serious it is. King of Pixels, exactly. So, yeah. Alright, enough fucking about, chat. Enough fucking about. Let's continue with La Drama. So, still complaining about FF7 Remake? Move on, old man. I will never move on. That's I mean, what else am I supposed to say? Alright, they say stop, I say no. That's all I can do. So, alright, let's continue. Now... this one pissed a few people off as well, but this is whatever, right? Now, this is, I don't really care. As I say, I'm not offended by the combat in FF7 Remake and Rebirth. Like, I'm actually more open-minded than some people about this, in that I think it can work with action combat and with the free cam, as long as you find a way to translate the spirit of the original into that. But what they have instead done is they have made a lot of these bosses fight like FF14 raid bosses. See? Big area, boss just hovering at the edge of the area, doing nothing, not moving. Don't stand in the circles, okay? Don't stand in the lines. And when the boss raises its arm up to hit you, just picture a big yellow triangle on the ground. Don't stand in that, right? That's kind of what we've got. It's not everything, but it's very weird when you see it. It's just like, man, is this the future of JRPGs, man? But as I say, I didn't hate... And as for the characters, how they play, it feels like really expensive Dynasty Warriors mixed with, like, ATB. But as I say, I can work with that. I didn't hate the combat. There were quite a few times I had quite a bit of fun with it. But I don't like seeing FF14's MMO design show up in FF7. All right? I don't think that 14 should have ever been combined with 7. The very idea is insane. So, but this short's neither here nor there, you know. Damn it, Zach! Minus 50 DKP. So, I'll respond to some chats and then we'll go to the next one. Oh, never be a memory. That's because the thing is, yeah, right, and you're pointing this out here, Mr. Crouch and Watch. This was a problem with FF16. FF16 played like a single-player FF14 with better graphics to an extent. But, like, a main quest is that Clive had to go and buy garlic. You know what I mean? The pacing was atrocious. The dialogue was bloated as hell. Characters... When you're having a normal conversation, like an MMO conversation in FF16, characters go through the 4 FF14 body language cycles. One is just the awkward neutral pose. The other is the arms folded. Then there's the hand on hip. And then there's the arm gesture forward. And when you see that, you cannot unsee it. It's just endless. So, but I also expected that, I guess, because we knew Yoshi P was working on 16, but I never expected to see it in 7. So, yeah. Old Coolest. Speaking of Dynasty Warriors, would love to see me react to the voice acting of Dynasty Warriors 3. I haven't seen that. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you. I haven't played that in a million years, you know. And look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's unfair to compare this combat to Dynasty Warriors, but I'm just saying that while I don't hate it, I don't think it's that amazing either. I'm not wild about it. So, Wildlife Dude, thank you for the $3 super chat. You love my Claire Obscure shorts. You've been gushing a grannies about that game for months, forcing as many people to play it as possible. You miss FF10. Damn straight, Wildlife. Thank you for the super chat. It is an incredible phenomenon, Claire Obscure, and it's interesting how its main form of advertisement, from what I imagine, is actually entirely organic. It is people telling other people, dude, you have to play this game. This game shouldn't even exist. I personally had given up on ever seeing a game like that exist ever again, and I was blown away. It had, like, trailers. It didn't have this $100 million marketing campaign. It was just everyone saying, everyone, you have to play this. There's nothing else like this. It's fucking awesome. So, yeah. Anyway. But, you know, this isn't an A33 stream. I'll come back to the point here. So, you're doing a completionist run of FF8 Eosia. You're level 40 at the end of Disc 1. Oh my god. Fuck. Moon Channels, why do we always kill gods in JRPG videos? I haven't seen that, but put that in the Discord in the React section, and I might get to that later. So, yeah. Alright. I'm not going to get every chat, guys. I apologize for that. Draco, what's going on, you dog? Taking the most beloved game and giving it a tonal shift was a bad move. Yeah, just make your own game. You want to make a Final Fantasy for Disney adults, Marvel fans, and the Kingdom Hearts fans? Do that, but don't do it with 7, my god. Sammy, thank you very much for the $2. You're just happy I fixed the lag. Appreciate it, Sammy. I think what happened is after I changed the bitrate and the frame rate, it just took some time for YouTube to adjust. I think we might be okay now. We might be okay. So, all right, guys, let's get back to the video. Let's get back to the drama. Punishment Eben, oh my god. King of Pixels, thank you for the $5 super chat. All the FF games now are just part of Final Fantasy. Each used to be unique and have their own vibe while staying within the core idea of the series. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're saying FF7 and 10 are in the same universe or the same planet, like, oh, piss off, mate. Keep them their own separate things. If you do that, then you diminish the significance of both stories. You know what I mean? If Genova, let me put it this way. If that character called Shinra in FF10-2 is going to go off and found Shinra, then Yuna should take one of her guns and blow his fucking head off, alright? Because she'll be saving the entire world by doing that. Or if we know Genova's gonna happen sometime, well, you know what, maybe let's not kill Sin for a bit. Let's keep Sin around. He'll just take out Genova. You know, it's stupid. All of this shit is stupid. It's dumb as fuck, man. I think FF works best when each game is their own self-contained story and has zero bearing on the other. Like, FF9 should have no interaction with FF7's universe. I think the one exception may be the fact that Gilgamesh is actually the same Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh from 5 ends up in 8. And that might be the same Gilgamesh in 9 and 14. I think that's an interesting idea, that one character is somehow hopping around this multiverse world. And because he is such a bizarre creature himself, he's such a strange, unusual entity, it kind of fits his nature somewhat. Like, he looks really fucking strong, but in a really weird way. Like, he's not like straight up cool strong like Odin or Bahamut. He's like, what is that thing? You know what I mean? So yeah, I like that. I like the idea of Gilgamesh sort of being this comic relief. He's almost like a comic relief summon or character, but he's also really strong. I think that's kind of cool. He's almost like a Warhammer 40 orc in a way. You know, he's a bit of a joke, but he will also kick the shit out of you. So yeah. All right. I'm going to refill my water, and then we're going to continue with this drama. All right, boys, let's fucking do this. Greg being the same Greg? It's sick, man. I like it. I think it... no other summon would work in Hildebrand in FF14. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't work with Ifrit or Titan or Bahamut. It works with Gilgamesh because he's just like such a wild card of a... like, what even is he, you know? Oh yeah. Alright. Let's do this. He's an interdimensional merc, Jaded. Yeah, something like that. So, alright, enough fucking about. Have I tried Hogwarts Legacy? I have not, Silent. Thank you for that super chat. Although I do find it funny, and look, we're not going to talk about this, but I do find it funny that somehow Harry Potter, of all things, became this red hot thought crime thing. I didn't see that coming. That was not on my bingo cards, but you know what? Fuck it. We'll just move on from there. We're not going to talk about that. What do I think about Crisis Core? I haven't played it. Maybe one day, but I also don't need it. I'm okay without it. Everything I need to know about the characters in the world of FF is in the OG, for me. I don't really have any unanswered questions, you know. Anyway, enough fucking about. Let's do this. Now this tweet also went nuclear. Now, the reason I made this tweet was actually to, like, clear up a misunderstanding when it comes to the criticism regarding Red 13's real voice in Rebirth. All right? So, something I notice a lot, right, is there's people who are just like, okay, everyone knows that Red is young for his age, all right? Yes, he's 48, but his species lives 500, so, like, you know, he's a teenager for his species. Every single person in the world knows this plot point, all right? Everyone, okay? Even Joe Biden, all right? Now, when people say, I fucking hate his voice, what defenders of his voice will say is, oh, you don't realize he does this in the OG, all right? They'll say, oh, you don't know that he's young for his age. It's like, no, we know he's young for his age, but that doesn't mean that he has to sound like Morty, like Deku, like the literal anime meme. You know that thing's like, oh no, there's a gamer girl in my lobby. He doesn't have to sound like that. Hellboy is 60 years old, okay? But he's a teenager, mentally. That's why he's called Hellboy, I think. But anyway, he's 60 years old, he's mentally a teenager, and yet somehow Hellboy, in none of his depictions, he's like, oh geez, man, looks like Satan's coming out of hell. Better do some detective work, ooh-woo. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of living proof that you don't need to sound like this. Actually, tell you what, chat. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, let's play his voice. Let's see what Red 13's real voice sounds like in FF7 Rebirth.
Hey, guys! It's me! I'm back! We were so worried. Oh, come home.
We're really gonna miss you, Red.
Oh, don't say that. You're only making this harder. I'm not a child anymore. I'm 48.
Hey, you're gonna drool on the seat.
Close call. Everyone's a winner. Hey, guys!
Yeah, God, that's a lot of kicks in the balls in 30 seconds, isn't it? I don't like this part.
Hey, you're gonna drool on the seat.
Close call.
I don't like the idea of like Red 13 just slobbering everywhere. Nothing like that is mentioned in the OG to my memory. I mean, his nose dries up in Costa del Sol. Wow, that's it. But now he's just become this big lumbering idiot. And then, I mean, well, need I say more?
Everyone's a winner.
But nothing will beat this. Also, that's an emoji in my Twitch channel, by the way. If you type Sebbywebz, you can do this to people too now. You can annoy people with this face. And Sebbywebz 2, yeah, Sebbywebz 2, you'll get this one, the Cacto Red. Now, I am not insulting the voice actor, and I'm not insulting the performance, all right? I'm saying that this is a stupid voice for Red, all right? This is like casting, if you cast Michael Cera as Morpheus or Aragorn in Lord of the Rings, not the right fit, all right? It doesn't feel right. People be like, what the fuck is this? No one would be saying that Michael Cera is a bad actor. It's just not the right casting choice. Or not the right vocal choice of the character. But the reason I made this tweet, right, okay. To a normal person, this voice sounds cringe. To an anime person, this voice sounds normal. When normal people say they hate Red's uwu voice, anime people interpret this as them not knowing that Red is young for his species. I can see why people got angry about this. Now, before I continue, I'm an anime person, all right? I watch a lot of anime, okay? When I say anime person, what I mean is someone who has watched 1,000 hours of English dub to the point where to them, that voice sounds normal, all right? To the point where if someone says they hate this voice, all right? Hang on.
Miss you, Red.
Oh, don't say that. You're only making this harder.
Where if someone says they don't like that Red has that voice, the anime person cannot understand why. It doesn't compute. They don't understand that you don't like the voice. They think that you don't know that he's young for his species. That's the whole purpose of this tweet. Now, did I say it in a way that would annoy a lot of people and get attention? Yes! Because I did want to draw attention to this. Because this is bullshit. It's a character assassination. So that's why I called it a huge scientific breakthrough in FF7 sociology. But the thing is, right? It is a huge breakthrough in scientific, in FF7 sociology. I cracked the code. I figured out why there is this miscommunication. Why, when people say they hate this voice, people who defend it don't seem to understand. Now, some will lie, all right? You know, I'm not a fan of them, but there are people who actually don't understand what you're criticizing. They don't get you're criticizing the voice. They think you don't know he's young for his species. That's it. This, unironically, chat, is a huge scientific breakthrough in FF7 sociology. I have argued with hundreds of people on the internet to finally reach this breakthrough, all right? In fact, I think I deserve an honorary PhD for my contribution to science and this conversation. Right. Silence. Oh, Patriot, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you for the $2. Yeah, it's fucked, isn't it? So, all right, we'll continue. Do I like noodles, Jenna? Oh, yeah, I do. I love my udon. I love my ramen. Right, let's continue. Now, everyone knows this major plot point. The complaint is not that he's a teen for his species. The complaint is that his real voice is embarrassing to listen to. I hope that clears things up. More FF7 lectures to come. Now, what will happen, right, is I'm going to tell you the most advanced level of defense for this embarrassing voice, all right? So what FF7R defenders will say is that in the original Japanese translation, Red 13 uses watashi pronouns, but when he gets to Cosmo Canyon, he uses oira. Now, what they will then do is they will lie to your face, and they will say that oira is only used by children. Therefore, the child voice was always a thing in the OG, and you didn't know because you don't speak Japanese. Now, the reality, okay, the actual fact is that Oira pronouns are used by country people, like rural country bumpkin people. That's kind of like, that's at least what I've found after a lot of research, all right? So, which makes sense for Red, because Cosmo Canyon is about as far out in the country as you can possibly imagine. So, there you go. So, also, is there anyone who speaks Japanese in chat who can confirm / double confirm that for me? Because look, I don't speak Japanese, but they motivated me to learn this one thing about the language because of this bullshit. All right, because of all the gaslighting and the arguments. Basically, in a nutshell, there are people who have decided to die on the hill that Red should sound like a furry. That's basically what's going on. So, now if you're a furry, fantastic, that's fine, you know, but be honest, you know, don't say that that's the only way that he can be done. That's the only way this character can be voiced. Don't say that this was like planned since rock and roll racing. Don't say this is planned since, you know, Pong. But anyway, yeah. So Eoja, rural people are more familiar with how they speak, so you drop the honorifics that you would normally use. Yeah, so basically what they're saying is that changing from formal to an informal way of speaking somehow magically makes you sound 30 years younger biologically, all right? I'm sorry, but I don't believe that, okay? And if that does happen, then Japanese is a truly foreign language, because that doesn't happen in ours, you know? But yeah, it's ridiculous, man. All memes aside, this is a very contentious point of Rebirth because of how stupid it sounds. So, right, let's continue. In Advent Children, his voice didn't sound like that. Yeah, let's check it out. So let's do it. Oh yeah, there is one last counter argument to all this bullshit. Let's see, Advent Children full movie. Okay.
Here.
Let's see, where is it? Of course, I'm time-stamped on the exact scene as well. You can see I've been using this a lot. So basically, at the end of Advent Children, all right, Red 13 has one line in this whole movie, and his voice sounds like this.
I'm back.
There are still children with the stigma.
Let's hear that a bit louder. Let's hear that in full volume. All right. This is how. Hang on. This is how Red 13 sounds in Advent Children. Same writer, by the way.
I'm back.
There are still children with the stigma.
Everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner.
Now, you might have to listen for a few hours, but after a while, you might notice a difference between those two voices. Now, there are a number of excuses made for this, because this is what you see in Advent Children is an extremely inconvenient truth for anyone who wants to die on the hill that Red needs to sound like that. Like an uwu furry Deku, okay? One, they will say, I'll tell you what, I'll put some music on. One, they will say that here, he is older. You're right, he is older. He's 2 years older. He's aged from 48 to 50 for a species that lives 500 years. That is like a human being aging 5 months and going from sounding like Michael Cera to Liam Neeson. All right? That is, I'll say it again. That is like a human being aging 5 months and going from Michael Cera to sounding like Liam Neeson. Okay? This does not happen. It's bullshit. Okay? Second of all, an excuse I've heard for this is that, oh, he only uses his real voice around people he trusts. He doesn't use it around, you know, enemies. You know, it's his battle voice. All right, let's have a look and see who he's with in this scene. Let's see. Looks like, all of his friends only. Who else do we have? I don't know, man. It seems like he's around all of his friends and whatever. Any background NPCs you see, they're on his side. It's stupid. It is stupid. The idea that this fake voice was there from the fucking beginning is an absolute... it's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. There isn't any evidence to substantiate that. Is he young for his species? Sure. Does he use rural country folk pronouns in the Japanese original translation? Sure. That doesn't mean that the only way in the world that Red can possibly be voiced is this.
Everyone's a winner.
Anyway, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The lecture is over. The lecture is over on that part, at least. My God. All right, let's continue. The mesh shirt is a choice. You know, hey, look, fashion's the end game. So, you think that Usopp comparisons for the Japanese is slightly disingenuous because Usopp is also L. He can do serious and jokey roles. No. Here's the thing, Calvo. I'm not saying Usopp is a bad actor. I'm not saying that Usopp is a bad character. I'm just saying that I don't think Usopp should be Red 13.
寂しくなっちゃうな。
それを言わないでよ。別れが辛くなっちゃうよ。
Again, this is like casting Michael Cera as the Terminator, alright? Not saying he's a bad actor, not saying it's a bad character, but it doesn't fit, right? 100% of people who played FF7 back in, like, the original day, back in the 90s, had a different voice for Red 13 in their head. And also, the reason... Okay, get ready. Here comes my tinfoil conspiracy theory, alright? I think the reason they made Red 13 Usopp is because they wanted to get the One Piece crowd, and to really drive the point home, they gave Red 13 a pirate treasure side quest. This is real. This is in the game, alright? Hang on, let's just get that. Sorry, I'm typing with one hand. There we go. Alright. Like, I imagine that the thought process behind this was like, hey, you know, the kids, they're into the One Piece, you know, put the One Piece guy in it, you know, make him Usopp, make him Red 13. I'm working here, give him some pirate treasure. Also, Dampier, just want to point out in the OG, he didn't want to be treated like a child, so Rebirth butchered his character. I don't remember, well, in the OG... Bugenhagen says that he's 15, 16 for his age. Red says, I'm not a child anymore, you know, or I don't want to be a child anymore and all that. But that doesn't mean he has to sound like this. Look, it was on Square, okay, to figure out the creative solution to this problem, all right? And as I say, Hellboy. Hellboy is the same age for his series, for his species as Red 13 is. Hellboy is 60. He's mentally a teenager. He doesn't sound like, oh, geez, man, time for some more devil detective work, ooh-woo. Anyway, enough fucking about. I think it's time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Red 13 to become King of the Pirates.
Cloud, let me see that. This reeks of sea salt. And not the fresh kind either. This thing smells ancient.
Really?
Yeah. Gramps told me about it once. Long ago, when most folks spent their lives at sea, a war broke out between some pirates. I mean, how do you think they came up with Pirates Rampage? It's based on a true story.
Anyway, you can see where this is going. Okay, he tells us about pirates here. I don't even think the word pirate shows up in the original FF7. I don't think it's even there.
From the fires of war, these pirates emerged victorious.
Gold Roger Marlboro over here. Is that a reach? Maybe it is. But you know what? Good. Alright, let's continue.
Crimson waters.
Blah, blah, blah. Blimmy, blam, blue, blozzle.
Doubtless, you'll put up quite a fight.
And I, for one, can't wait!
Yeah, so when I say, like, when I say that, like, that they've made Red 13 into Usopp, one, it's the exact same character voice, and two, the tinfoil conspiracy part of my brain is thinking, are they actually intentionally trying to make some connections here? Is this like a really shit attempt to get a bit of the One Piece crowd as well? Well, that's it, chat. Red's king of the pirates now. So yeah, and it's the voice choice. The idea for his voice is so bad that even Japanese voice acting can't save it. And I've got a huge amount of respect for Japanese voice actors. I think they are excellent for the most part. Silence Observer, how much for a mod that changes his voice with AI? Don't ask me. Thank you for the super chat, but don't ask me, man. That's the real reason Sito sheds a tear, Kevin, because he heard his voice. Alright. Pirate Marlboro. I actually like the Pirate Marlboro. I think it's funny. So, when Red isn't doing the silly voice, it's the same voice in the Japanese English dub. More a fault of the writing than casting. No, that's the thing, Calvo. I'm not criticizing the voice actors. I'm not. And some people thought I was. Okay, they thought I was going after the VAs. I'm not. I'm saying this is a stupid idea. Okay, the VAs are just following orders. They're just doing their job, which is executing someone else's bad idea. So, all right, enough fucking about. This also pissed off a lot of people, but well, actually, no, this drew a lot of attention to this. A lot of people didn't know that Red 13's voice sounds like this, and this is a deal breaker for them. A lot of people don't want to buy Rebirth because of this, like this one thing. Rage baiting for the algorithm isn't lecturing. It's not rage bait, it's the truth. But that's the thing, I say this in a way that got everyone's attention and put their attention on it. But this does need to be talked about. A lot of people are pissed off about this, and a lot of people who have made this criticism get gaslit into the ground and bullied into silence, all right? Well, sorry, mate. We're talking about this. It's stupid. See, agreed. You know the devs of the OG game worked on this, right? I do. And with all due respect, it's like watching your favorite band 20 to 30 years later, washed up and out of touch. All right? And I do say that with all due respect. Like, just because, you know, it's them, just because it's like some of the same devs, it doesn't mean that literally everything they touch turns to gold. All right? There's people who are fans of FF7 Remake, and they don't treat these games as games. And they don't treat the devs as devs. They treat these games as their religion. They treat these games as their sacred texts. And they treat the devs as their priests, all right? So if the dev intended this, or if the dev did this, you have to like it, because it was written, because it was carved in stone, because they did it, and their word is infallible. You know what I mean? There's a section of the fandom who every mistake, every flaw, every problem, every major issue, every misstep is actually all part of some master plan that you, the plebs, are simply too stupid to understand, all right? But if you only try hard enough, if you just keep trying to have fun, then eventually you'll have fun, all right? If you just keep trying to enjoy it, then maybe you will start to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, this is not how fun works, man. Like, it shows that a section of this fan base has become a cult. So, all right, let's continue. Patriot, thank you for the $2 super chat. Did R&R attract new fans and old fans like they planned? R&R? No, I think it's attracted some. It's enjoyed by people who, I guess, can't get enough of anything FF7 related. They just want to see more of the characters, more of the world and stuff, and so on and so forth. But for people who want, like, just good storytelling, good art, it's not winning them over. For people who, I don't know, people who are just, like, new to the whole thing, and just like, this is just some bizarre curiosity, I guess it's sort of gotten them as well. They don't know what's going on, but it's like, you know, flashy lights, colors. But for people who love the original game for what it was, like, let me put it this way. I don't love everything, I don't love something just because it's FF7, alright? I just love, like, the best shit. And the reason I fell in love with the OG FF7 is because it was one of the best things that existed in the world at that time. And still is, in my opinion. It was doing things artistically, storytelling-wise, musically, that really hadn't been done in games before, or not to that extent. And to this day, it's still effective, it's still moving, it's still powerful and cinematic, you know. Whereas I think there's a section of this fandom who thinks that in order to be a real fan, you have to have consumed all the media. You have to have read On the Way to a Smile. You have to have read... Get ready. In order to be a real FF7 fan, you have to have read... Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. The Kids Aren't All Right. A Turk story about the adventures of Leslie, Don Corneo's doorman, leading up to some of the events of Advent Children. All right? If you haven't read this, you're not a real fan. And it's like, man, well, then I guess I'm not a real fan then, all right? And why would I want to be? Seriously, why would I want to be? Okay? I just have respect for, like, good storytelling, good entertainment, good art. And the OG is one of the best things when it comes to that. I didn't need anything after that because it all just felt like spin-offs and fan fiction, you know? YouTube comments are turn-based combat. Oh, God. Coma Vids, thank you for the Prime. Heart Ponder, thank you for the $10 super chat. You have to pick one and it gets a mural in Times Square. Dilly Dally, Shilly Shally, or Everyone's a Winner by Red 13. Everyone's a winner. Easily. Easily. Easily, like it's not even a question. Thank you for that, Heart Ponder. So, Coma Vids, I'm glad to be back. Wave Rider. OG fans don't even play the games anymore. It was so popular at that time. It was, man. It was. It's ridiculous. So, like, let me put it this way. If being a real fan means that I have to have absolutely no standards and just buy and consume literally anything with the FF7 label on it, then I guess I'm not a real fan. And second of all, why would you even boast about that? Why would that be a point of pride? Alright, let's get back here. So, let's see. Fucking agreed. It's probably the most annoying immersion-breaking part of the game. It's impossible to get used to. Isn't it interesting? Here in the comments, people are starting to agree now. In the previous ones, it was just the FF section of Twitter just ripping on me. But now there's more and more people like, this is terrible, man. This is indefensible. Gotta pay the bills somehow. I'm not monetized on Twitter. I do this for free. In fact, let me add something. If I had to pay $10 US every time I made one of these tweets, I would do that. All right, this isn't about the money. And I want to say to some people who think that this is just like the grift, this is all for money. No. If you only think in terms of money, one, that says a lot about how you think. And two, you will never understand why I make these videos, why I make these tweets, if you think it's only about money. You'll never understand it, all right? Also, thank you for bringing it up, because I didn't even know you can monetize tweets. Like, when people kept saying that, I was like, you can get paid for tweets? Like, I had a Street Fighter Zangief moment, you know, where he's like, we get paid? And so I looked into it, and it turns out, I'm not eligible for it yet, but it turns out that if you get, like, what, 5 million impressions in the last 3 months or something, you can apply to get monetized for your tweets. So, thank you, everyone who kept accusing me of making these tweets for money. I didn't know until you mentioned it. But also, look, I also don't want to provoke him or anything. Like, look, it's just... I don't care if I make money over this. I don't care. I would pay money to make these tweets, because one of the most infuriating things to watch in the world is watch history get rewritten in real time around the original FF7. To see the lies and gaslights saying that the OG FF7 was always like this, that the remakes capture the tone of the original, that if you hate the cringe and relentless Disney bullshit of this, then you never played the OG. Can't stand it. Cannot stand people saying that this is... It's basically the same story. No, it's not. Captured the spirit of the OG, captured the tone. No, it didn't. All right? That is why I make these. And while it's not the only thing I do, right now I'm kind of specced into it. It's not the only thing I do. There's a lot of... In fact, we're going to stream mouthwashing later on today. But few things right now give me more pleasure than going out and arguing and fighting against this ultimate dishonesty and this ultimate stupidity. All right. Anyway, not fucking about. Oh shit, dude, Josh Levitt, thank you for the $50 super chat, man. Thank you. Fuck, as Clive would say in FF16. Fuck. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. That's huge, man. Thank you. Yeah. So, what else can I say? What else can I say? Sorry, that Guts music is hitting absolutely perfectly for this right now. Devs need to stop banking hard on new fans. The thing is, Milton, maybe they thought that... I think a huge miscalculation on Square Enix's part is they thought that as people grew older, they would stop playing Final Fantasy. And it's just not true. Like, there's so many people in their 30s, 40s. There's some people even in their 50s who are playing the classic FFs to this day. And are massively... and would buy these games if they were still, you know, of the quality. The number... Dude, the number... There were tons of people in their 50s and 60s in my YouTube comments, in my stream, talking about Expedition 33. They were saying, like, I thought I'd just gotten too old for this. And this game made me fall in love with gaming again. It made me realize, like, no, I'm not getting old. It's just... we lost something, man. A truly good piece of art or entertainment is timeless. Anyway, Josh, thank you again for that. That was absolutely huge. So, right. You literally said that, it's so true, Pablito? Yeah, exactly. If Red is supposed to sound young, he doesn't have to sound young and cringe. Yeah, exactly. Let me put it this way, I'll say one last thing about Red's voice, alright? The kid in Terminator 2, alright? The main character of that, I think he's like 14. He's technically 2 years younger than Red, mentally. He sounds cooler than Red. He sounds more mature than what they're doing here. Alright? Like, he's kind of living proof. I'll pull him up right now. Let's see. Terminator 2, John Connor. Ooh, this kid, man! This is one of the most badass lead kids in the history of cinema. Maybe the most. Maybe number one. Alright? This kid is like, what, 14 in the movie? And he's got more testosterone than Red 13 in Rebirth. This kid would kick the shit out of Rebirth Red. Alright? It's stupid, man. Bloody Edward Furlong over here. The idea that if you're some teenager, you have to sound like, oh jeez, man, ooh-woo. It's a stupid idea, and that lie, that gaslight, has to be called out, you know. And at the very least, it just shows they don't know anything about acting, all right? If you think that there is only one way to play a character, you don't know anything about acting. Nothing, literally. Like, there is always more than one way to play a role. There are some roles like Hamlet, for example, in Shakespeare, which are so deep and complex that you cannot express every aspect of who he is in a single performance. Laurence Olivier said this. John Bell, I think, one of the legendary Australian actors, said this. It's like, when you play Hamlet, there's some things you have to choose over others. You can't show all of it. You know what I mean? But anyway, you know, Red 13 and John Connor, they're not quite as deep as Hamlet and all that. But the main thing is, if you think that there's only one way to play a character, you don't know even the most basic things about acting. You don't. Also, Dampier, thank you very much for that $5. A gamer actually criticizing a horseshit remake and not kissing ass? You know what, Seb? You alright. Dampier, thank you for that $5 super chat. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Yeah, look. I don't want to cast any judgment or aspersions onto other content creators. Like, there's a lot who clearly love this stuff. I've also seen, though, that there are content creators who refuse to talk about this anymore because of major backlash and harassment they got, and they were not even going nearly as hard on it as me. Bloody, I think Resonant Arc, you know, had, they made a tweet or something saying, like, it's been 5 years since their 7 Remake video, and I bet you they were probably a lot nicer about that game than I was, and, they say, like, we haven't made a video about this in 5 years, and we get comments on random videos saying things like, your hatred for FF7 Remake is honestly pathetic. It's like, where did that come from, man? Video Game Donkey got it. I can imagine he did because, and I think it's quite interesting, right? I've seen Video Game Donkey's reviews of Remake and Rebirth, and it's really interesting. He is a lot harsher on Remake than he is on Rebirth. But Rebirth is much worse. Much, much worse than Remake, I would say. But I think it's because he would have, I don't know the story, but I can imagine he would have gotten a lot of backlash from the insane rabid cult section of the FF7R community. And I remember when Rebirth came out on launch, it was peak cult levels. It was insane. It was I can see why everyone was scared to be critical of Rebirth. But as the dust settled and everyone could see how absolutely dog shit it was, and then a few other things happened in the gaming world, which kind of just collectively woke everyone up. You look back at it now, it's indefensible. But it was interesting to me, and look, I'm not knocking Video Game Donkey. I got a lot of respect for the guy. I think he's an excellent YouTuber. But I also can totally see why, for Rebirth, he was much nicer about it. Because some of this fandom is insane. They will try to ruin your life. And I don't mean just insult you and whatever. I mean they will literally try to ruin your life for criticizing these games. They can be scary in a lot of ways. So, all right, let's continue. Micron, yeah. And the thing is, for those of you who don't know Resonant Arc, please follow them on YouTube. These guys are absolutely brilliant. Like, I have a... they may not say things as how would I say? They may not be as opinionated as me. No, that's not a good plug. Follow Resonant Arc because they understand why FF is good in a technical way much more deeply than I do. When I was watching their video where they were explaining the ins and outs of pre-rendered backgrounds and why they work so well and why it was such a brilliant workaround for the tech limitations of the time, I was learning a lot from them. I have a lot of respect for those guys, you know. So, and then the fact that guys as measured and civil as them got hate for criticisms on Remake and Rebirth is just it's disgusting in my opinion. It's actually disgusting, appalling behavior. And it's not all of the Remake fandom. Many of them are actually totally chill and cool with me. But there's a section of them who like to bully and gaslight people a lot. Yeah, I said it. So, all right. You thought this year was Game of the Year material? I actually think you can nominate it for Game of the Year. I mean, it looks the part, it fits the part, it's got the budget. But I'm also glad it didn't win. I think it's interesting that Metaphor won every award that Rebirth was nominated for, except Best Music. But what did Rebirth do? It just remixed a soundtrack that was already written, like 25 plus years ago. You know what I mean? As for the new music written for Rebirth, 99% of the new tracks are completely forgettable. Xenosaga, I don't know that, Patriot. Thank you for the $2. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna read some chats and we'll continue. Yeah, Pablito, you know. Love those guys, they're getting the meat again. Yeah, Birdwoods, honestly, I need to listen to more Resonant Arc, man. I need to learn more things from them. Because, I think they're like true fans, man. And in the sense that they love what is best about this series. And they're good at explaining why it's so good. So, Star Wars: The Lord of the Rings, whether certain fans will not understand people like us, the criticism. Sea of anime and media. Look, I think anime can be good, but yeah, slopping it into everything, I don't know. But anyway, but that we're getting off track here. So, all right. Silent Observer, thank you for that $6.50 super chat. To give Rebirth a plus, you thought the part where Yuffie sang was good? Like, I mean, look, I've kind of gone off the deep end with this. I wasn't... It doesn't stick in my mind, that part. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But my big problems are like with, you know, Red's voice and stuff. Yeah. But you're not allowed to not... You are allowed to like it, all right? I sometimes have people hop into my chat and it's like, I like Rebirth. Is that okay? And I'm like, well, what do we have here? Hey, Ma! Looks like we got ourselves a Rebirth enjoyer. Listen, Sonny Jim. And then I'm about to ban them. And I'm like, we don't take kindly to your folks around here. And then I'm like, you know what? You all right? Nah, it's all right. Everyone's allowed to like these games. It's the lying and the bullying surrounding it that I don't like. Ramil, thank you very much for the $4.20 donation. Another critique of 7 Remake is when you play other ARPGs like Xenoblade Chronicles, the novelty of FF7Rs wears off. And you're not impressed as you're not as impressed. A lot of people are telling me that Remake's combat has actually been done better in other games. So, yeah, I haven't played those, so I can't really comment. But what I can do, so I can take a fucking piss, because I have to do that right now. So, I'll just be right back, alright? I'll be right back. Enjoy the looping Red 13, and I'll be right back. BRB. Alright boys, I'm back. So I know we're spending a bit of time on this. We will get to mouthwashing afterwards, but look, it's not every day you accidentally burn down Twitter to the point where the FF drama bleeds into normal person Twitter and they start taking notice, alright? So we are going to cover this, we are going to make this into a YouTube video. We'll continue. Everyone forces action, combat, and it's tiring button mash. You know what, Daya? I've seen so many games, right? And they got like a cool concept, cool aesthetic, but as soon as I see not exactly Souls-like, the Souls-like, Sekiro-like, Wukong-like, Rebirth-like combat, I just immediately switch off. I'm like, oh, okay, another one of these games to add to the pile. Like, you know, another one to add to the 5,000 games like this. It's why E33 was so massively... you could argue it's a reason E33 was so massively successful. It's a very good game, but what else is there out there like that? In terms of AAA, turn-based science fantasy games, you got Lost Odyssey in 2008, and before that you got FF10 in 2001, and I'm talking about good ones. Okay, 13 doesn't count. Okay, no one cares about that. Well, let me put it this way: 13 has zero appeal outside of the diehard FF fandom. If you wanted someone to get into the Final Fantasy series, you don't tell them to start on 13. All right? That's a great way to get them to not continue with that series. All right. Everyone's trying to be a DMC or a Souls clone pain out. Yeah, exactly. You know. And people are going to mention other turn-based games like what? Bravely Default, Octopath Traveler, Yakuza, Persona. All right, I'm going to counter all of these, okay? Turn-based games that are pixel, low-poly 3D, anime, they do not hit the same way as the AAA 3D graphics thing, all right? They just don't. If God of War 4 and The Last of Us 1 were anime cel-shaded games, we wouldn't know what they are, all right? They would have never blown up or been as big as they were. So, there's a big difference between that. As for Yakuza, that's not a science fantasy. It's not. I know that Tokyo is a crazy place, but it's not quite a science fiction fantasy. So, all right, let's continue. Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. I still need to play that. Maybe that. Can you get that on PC though? If you can't get it on PC, I almost don't count it. Same with like Lost Odyssey, man. Like, I'm not buying an Xbox for one game. You know, it should be on PS5 and 4, and it should be on PC. Otherwise, it's just like, it's hamstrung immensely. So, alright, enough fucking about. Let's continue. So this tweet started getting immense attraction. I would say these 3 tweets are what set the ball rolling. It was... Oh god, hang on. How do I... Hang on, let me just... refresh this. Okay. It was these three tweets that got the ball rolling. The Red 13 voice one. The singing lady. And the rude bald bar. And I think it was probably amplified by me making comments on this. By this time, a lot of the FF Twitter sphere was retweeting me, calling me a fucking idiot, saying I've never played the OG, so on and so forth, or I'm wrong, even though the evidence is like right in front of your fucking eyes. And then it spiraled. Then it started spiraling to the point where even normal people started taking notice, and they were like, No, he's right. That was cringe. Those 2 scenes do not have the same tone, and so on and so forth. So they started commenting on it as well, which is really interesting. I saw quite a big YouTuber say that, like, I know everyone hates this guy right now, but he's right. Like, these stupid, cringy, boring parts, they are the reason I quit Rebirth. You know, like, this isn't wrong. And so, but anyway, let's continue. It reached the point where everyone was just saying I was rage baiting, trolling, grifting, and then I thought, you know what? Let's make a serious statement, all right? Let's like now. Look, this was like maybe 6 a.m. in the morning. Look, I'm good now, but this was quite unpleasant. Okay, this was quite unpleasant to be going through this and seeing a lot of people tweeting about me, quite clearly talking about me, but not saying my name, obviously, and so on and so forth. And I thought, no, I'm going to set the record straight, all right? You think this is just trolling or joking? I'm going to say, here's what I really think, okay? Some people think I'm rage baiting, but I'm not. I say things in a joking way, but I am serious about this. Final Fantasy used to be the best series in the world, or one of the best, whatever you want to say. Final Fantasy used to be the best series in the world, and now it's not. And it won't ever be again if we keep shielding it from criticism and attacking anyone who points out its gaping, obvious, critical flaws. Alright? And what I mean by that is, well, I mean, you all saw what happened to me on that last week of Twitter, but like, from trying to shield this game from criticism is not going to help the devs. Alright? If Square's devs are like, fuck man, I don't get it. Everyone said... They all say they like it, but it's not selling. What's going on? All right? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. A rabid section of this fandom has bullied and intimidated every critic into silence, okay? And then has turned around and had the audacity to say, see, no one's complaining. So that's what it is. You know, it's like a very controlled conversation in that regard. You want to see why more people don't criticize 7 Remake and Rebirth? Just look what happened to me on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. That's why. And the thing is, I'm okay. I can work with that, all right? I'm not a normal person either, okay? I'm like a Warhammer 40k orc, all right? I can thrive in this chaos and in this conflict. Like, there's many people who just want to be normal, and they will just be like, you know what, it's not worth it, all right? There's many people who just back down when they meet resistance. Well, in this case, because I care about this, I didn't, you know? It's not fun having this entire, you know, a section of this fandom call you an idiot, but it's still better than saying nothing. Saying nothing is worse, all right? Because then it just builds up and then comes out in some, you know, angry rant. I'd rather just say what I think. If you agree with it, great. And if you don't, well, fuck it, I'll just have to tank the hit then. Vivo, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Glad I decided to wait until all parts would be out before buying it, especially when you saw your favorite Sid being watered down. Yeah, that was absolutely stupid, and it was a bad idea, alright? The Bloody Baron in The Witcher 3 is far worse to his family and his missus than Sid is in FF7, and yet The Witcher 3 sold 60 million copies, alright? It was a stupid idea to water Sid down, to censor him. But we'll get to that. I address that in a tweet later. And I'll read some more of these chats and then we'll do this. So. Yeah, exactly, Milton. You know, when I say that it used to be the best series in the world, that run from FF4 to 10 might be one of the best runs in video game history. There was a time in that 10 years where you could buy a Final Fantasy completely blind, knowing nothing about it, and you knew that you were getting a top quality product. And even if you were getting some sort of weird mishmash mess, a sort of beautiful mess like FF8, it was still one of the best things out there in terms of graphics, music. It was, you still felt like the devs were on your side, even if they weren't always hitting the mark every time. Just 1 second, I'm just gonna close my door. Some work going on out there. So, yeah, you could, honestly, you could buy anything. You could buy spin-off, man. You could buy Parasite Eve, you could buy Chocobo Racing, and you knew that you were getting in for a unique but awesome high-quality time. And whereas nowadays, it's just like, man, you gotta do, like, hours of research before buying a new Final Fantasy. It's like, oh, is this gonna be shit or lame? Am I about to waste, like, $100 and 100 hours? Spoilers, you will! So yeah. Anyway, as we continue. Art in video game matters, especially when you remake one of the greatest stories in the medium. 7 Remake and Rebirth may have modern graphics, but they have lost what made the 1990 game... Sorry. 7 Remake and Rebirth may have modern graphics, but they have lost what made the 1997 game so special artistically. Every major scene in this game has been rewritten to be less impactful than it was in the original. Cloud's flashback, the pillar collapse, Midgar's Zolom, Dine's death, Aeris's death, President Shinra's death, Red 13's reveal with Sito. And when it's not rewriting these scenes to be less effective, it's adding extra segments that are pointless and boring. Gongaga, Cat Sith, box throwing, low-stakes scenes of Zack doing nothing. This game's filler has filler. And it does. I mean, when we looked at Cosmo Canyon in Rebirth, after Red has his scene with his father, before that scene even has time to breathe, the G Tribe show up to tell you just a bunch of bullshit no one cares about, and in the middle of that, you get like a huge, long, boring Zack scene. Zack and Biggs walk around doing nothing, and then they meet up with Kiri. Then it comes back to the G Tribe, and then they just say, oh, we're aliens from another planet, and because we're not from here, when we die, we can't return to the live stream, so we're cursed with immortality, so we made the black materia, because all we wanted to do was blow up the entire world so we could finally die, and then the ancients, those assholes, had the audacity to stop us. So yeah, basically, it's like, this is stupid. This is actually dumb. You know, I don't know. The whole thing was completely unnecessary. I think that the G Tribe in the original work a lot better when they are actually simply a race of savage psychopaths who want to kill everyone in Cosmo Canyon. And even after Red 13's dad has stopped them, they still just exist there in spirit form as absolute psychopaths. I think that's just way cooler. It's way simpler and cleaner. It works better because now we just got this stupid thing to deal with, you know. And putting it at the end of that scene and then interrupting it with Zack stuff is ridiculous. Xander Prime. Me? Gongaga. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Yeah. The G Tribe, none of this is in the OG story, by the way. That's all the G Tribe are. So, Austin, welcome in. How the fuck are ya? Yeah. Nerolista, Bugenhagen in the OG game. Oh yeah, that's another thing. You know, OG game, he says, Cloud, can you and the others just step out for a moment? And you have like this private intimate scene between him and Red. In the new one, it's just everyone's watching. And then Barrett has the I'm not crying gag. So, all right, anyway, let's get back to this. If the series wants to be taken seriously again by people who aren't already diehard FF fans, things like this matter. Final Fantasy used to be a highly respected name. Now it's just expensive, weird, and disappointing. Is that a harsh critique? Yes, it is. But fuck, man, it needs to be said, you know? it's just always massively expensive. It's always disappointing. It's always good in a few ways and bad in many big ways that it didn't need to be. It's always bad in the most avoidable ways possible. And it's weird, man. It's weird. Like, Prompto is fucking just stupid. Prompto's weird. God. A lot of the Rebirth cringe is just weird. A lot of normal people playing this are just like, man, that red voice sucks, man. Like, what is this shit? So, Silent Observer. Sid turned into a taxi and Vincent was an emo. Why? Well, I thought the more egregious thing was that Vincent is now Hojo's security guard. Like, what? But thank you for the super chat, Silent. Yeah. Alright, we'll read some chats, we'll continue. They're a soulless cash grab with insanely manufactured length with little to no impact. Buck nasty. I mean, they are, mate. They are. I don't think that they deserve serious artistic analysis because that's not what they're trying to be. They're trying to just milk the fan base for as much money as possible. That's it. And if you're gonna milk us, at least do it in a way that's entertaining and artistic. You know, it's just, it's just filler. So, the only thing you like is more Yuffie involvement. Yuffie has been rewritten to be, how would I say, Yuffie is a real asshole in the OG, but I like that about her. I actually like that she's not actually doing this for the same reasons you are. Everyone in your party is doing this to sort of save the planet, except Yuffie. She just wants materia. She'll steal your materia. She just wants to make Wutai great again, you know? But she still thinks that's a good enough cause to risk fighting, you know, Sephiroth and all that. Rebirth Yuffie has been changed quite a bit. She's sort of like this little sister, and I don't hate it. In Japanese, I found her quite, like, just fun. But when you rewatch those scenes, you notice that Yuffie, for some reason, has a much bigger part than all the other main characters in many cutscenes. A lot of Rebirth is the Yuffie show, which is really strange to watch. Like, she went from being an optional character to being, like, one of the more pushed characters in the shows. I still... Doesn't annoy me so much. There's many things that annoy me a lot more. So... Dampier, you can't wait for the Village Avenger moment when all the unnecessary bad guys from the fucked up Turgeon Crisis Core show. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Genesis shows up. I wouldn't be surprised if bloody Titus shows up, you know, at this point. So, yeah. Streamer Drill? Oh, don't you worry. We talked about that. Yeah. FF has always been full of wild JRPG anime nonsense, but the OG is like Vampire Hunter D, and that's like a vending machine next guy. Well, here's the thing, Chicago. Like, anyone who says if you don't like all this ridiculousness, you don't like anime, or you don't understand it. No, that's bullshit, man. There is no rule in anime saying that shit has to be non-stop cringe and childish and uwu all the time. And if you think it is, you don't know the history of your medium as well as you think you do. Ghost in the Shell, Ninja Scroll, Wicked City, Fist of the North Star. What else is there? As far as I remember, Akira didn't do any of this uwu crap either. Like, that to say that things have to have this non-stop cringe is an anime thing. That would be like if in Lord of the Rings, Aragorn turns around and says, "For Frodo, what can I do for you?" Bam, 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 and him and Gandalf and Legolas start like doing like heaps of dance numbers. Or if the mouth of Sauron comes out and is like, "My master Sauron welcomes you," and then Aragorn cuts his head off, and all the orcs are like, all the orcs suddenly go in all like little chibi childish form, like, "Nani! Uwu! Isekai!" and start like doing little like hand movements and like their legs start flipping around and like all that, you know, when Aragorn cuts his head off. Like, and then, okay, it would be like that. And then someone who's watching this is like, why are they doing this in Lord of the Rings? What the fuck are they doing? It'd be like if someone said that and someone's like, "Huh, you just don't understand Hollywood. You just don't like movies. Movies do that all the time." It's like, no, fucking idiot, man. It's like, you get what I mean here. You get what I mean here, all right? You get what I mean. Right. Now let us continue. You're seeing Lord of the Rings with Carbot style. Oh, God. The last comment is an awful AI video of me, Dust Poncho. Oh, is it the gassy one? No, I've seen that. It's not a big deal, you know. All right, no fucking about. Now this is now this tweet I made here got quite a bit of traction. Got about 180,000 views, 1,300 likes, a lot of retweets and all that. And let's see what the comments say here. Perfectly said. You know what, Warski? You were right. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. What do we have here? I don't know how anyone would think this is rage baiting or attacking people that state this. All I see is passionate fans who love the game and care. You know, I appreciate this post. Never finished the PlayStation version. I was hoping the remake wouldn't let me have to, but from what I hear, they really did change a lot. They did. Your criticisms come from a place of passion and knowledge about the franchise. I agree. Modern day Square Enix is not on the same level as it was. I mean, it isn't, you know. I don't think 7 needed a remake. Just create new stories, you know. You know what, Sabrina? You were right. So, blimmy blam. Why just proactively post negativity? Why not spam post about your love on E33? Well, don't worry, I've already done that. I think I've made more shorts promoting E33 than probably anyone else on the entire internet. And I actually think that. If you can find someone who's done more pro E33 shorts than me, by all means, you know, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Lazy, you saw mouthwashing? Guys, please follow Lazy. We love her here. We're covering this drama first, Lazy, and then we'll get there. We'll get there. So what do we have here? I don't think you're rage baiting, but your content on games you like is more engaging. All right. Well, here's the thing, right? Well, I think I pointed out here. Okay. Well, here's my answer, right? Because if no one else is going to point out these problems, I will. Okay. Like, I don't want this. I don't want to just only be doing this all the time, but no one else is doing this. Oh, hang on. Walladoo. Thank you so much for the 46-month-aroo. Sorry, I missed it earlier. Appreciate that. So what I'm going to say, right, is that, like, one of the reasons my channel grew so fast in such a short amount of time is because, like, no one else was doing this. Like, yes, there are many people who are critiquing parts of the game or something, so on and so forth. But for whatever reason, I don't know, it wasn't hitting the same way that I was doing it, you know? I'm not saying, like, look, I'm just saying, if no one else is going to point out these massive obvious problems in the way that I'm doing it, then I will, all right? There's people with similar opinions to me, but they keep quiet because they have seen what happens to people who speak up. People are calling for my head because I criticized the game. Okay, they're not, well, I mean, no, there have been some thinly veiled threats. There were people saying that, like, career over, you know, or, no, what were they saying? They were saying it was a career-ending move, so on and so forth. But, like, to me, I was thinking, how did you guys not know this about me? Like, everyone who's been in my stream since Rebirth launch knows that I don't like this game. I've been posting shorts on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram for the last 6 months saying I don't like this game. If people on Twitter didn't know that I didn't like it, then they weren't watching me to begin with. It's just true. It's just true. What can that do for you? You know? Nicosta, thank you for that, Subaru. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. So my answer is, look, because the poor writing, relentless cringe, and the butchered storytelling is what's turning a lot of people away from this series. You know what I mean? There's a reason Rebirth sales aren't great, and it's pure cope to think that this is only because of PS5 exclusivity. You know what I mean? Is PS5 exclusivity a factor? Yes. Is it the only factor? No. But Rebirth fans will tell you it's the only factor. Or they'll say that, like, oh, sequels always do badly. No, they don't! I don't even need to debunk that. It's just fucking true. Silent, your Simon fight is the one you linked to people showing 33. Thank you, dude. That Simon fight was unbelievable, man. That was so good. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah. Welcome in, D Walker. Well, you know what, Pablo? I'm fine just doing my own thing. Hot take. You think Square started to poop the bed with 12? I didn't like 12, Isaac. A lot of people do, but I just don't like it. I know it doesn't grab me. And I'm sorry if you do like it. Sir Splashly, my views on Rebirth are exactly why you started following me. I appreciate that. And look, I do get comments now and again saying like, I just want to let you know I am unfollowing because you post about Rebirth. You know, and I get that. And they're trying to say that if you keep doing this, you'll lose followers. But my YouTube keeps getting bigger. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. And that's not me trying to brag. I'm just saying that's a fact. Because I think a silent majority is sick to death of these remake shenanigans and the appalling behavior of some of the fan base around this game. And if no one else on YouTube is going to say this shit, then fuck it, I will, okay? They can't get that anywhere else, apparently. I don't know. And if they can, let me know. I'd like to check them out. So, Shattered Glass. We're not saying it sucks for kicks. Well, that's the thing, Shattered Glass. We're not saying it sucks for kicks. We're saying it because we care about FF7 and the integrity of the story. Yeah, there are people who will say... There are people who honestly think that I secretly love Rebirth, but I'm only saying I hate it for views. That a section of this fan base is so crazy that they think that everyone loves it so much that if someone says they hate it, they're doing it on purpose, just to annoy them. It's unbelievable. That's unbelievable, mate. So, Old Schoolist, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. There's a multiverse Sebby that prefers remake and gets attacked by OG fans on Twitter. That'd be really funny, actually. That'd be really funny if there's some alternate timeline where I just love it. And the OG fans are mad at me for it. Metal Crazy, thank you for the 100 bits. You found me because of the FF7R shorts. Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I'm not trying to make everyone happy, all right? This is something I care about. This is something a lot of people care about. And, Vargan, it's for them, you know. And there's people who like Remake and Rebirth who still watch my content. They're like, man, I like these games, but it's funny. I just like watching you get angry about it. And if you're one of those people, you all right, you know? So, yeah. You know, gotta have fun. Crimson, thank you for the 100. Bitteroo, I'm being blasphemous to their religion. That's why they attack without any counter argument. They have nothing to argue back. By all means, prove me wrong, but it's just the evidence is right there, mate. Do you feel like no one wants to criticize it because it's FF7? Big thanks for doing so. No, I appreciate that, Mast. Well, the thing is, I'm not even criticizing the OG FF7. I'm criticizing the fake one. So, all right. God, I'm so far behind on chat. Jesus. You don't understand why Sid can't smoke, but Sully can in Uncharted, and Uncharted's a teen-rated game. You know what, Psychos? I didn't know that. But that's a great point. I'll use that in future arguments. So, all right, let's continue. Okay. And after every critic has been bullied into... I've already said this before. Look, I like making positive content too, but I am sick of the bullying and the gaslighting surrounding this game. That's why I make these posts. And... You know what? Matthew Dixon? You all right? Because he actually... He doesn't just sit there and insult me. He actually listens to what I says, and he says, look, don't get me wrong, there's a few things I don't like about it, but I found more positives than negatives, like how they made a bigger effort to show the bonds through the party. I get what you're saying, though. You know, we can't have an improvement without the conversation. I respect that. You all right? So, blim blim blam, and then there's whatever. Here we go. So this kind of turned things around, and like as I say, normal person Twitter took note of this, and then I started doing these comparison tweets, these shot-by-shot comparisons of the original game with the remake one. We're not going to go through these, it's like 4 minutes long, but it's amazing to me that on Twitter of all places, a 4 and 20 minute video actually got like the views and the likes and the traction it got, man. People were interested at this point. They're like, okay, well, let's see what this guy has to say. And I talk about how, well, basically, you know, I'll link all these tweets in the pinned comment or the description of this video. How's that sound? We won't go through all of them. Some, maybe. What's my opinion on the love triangle damp here? I'm honestly not too attached to it. I don't think about it too much. To me, what concerns me the most is just the storytelling quality, you know. That's kind of it, you know. I don't lose sleep over it or think about it too much, so. Vinyl, you hear people say if they had this tech back then, they would have made FF7 like the remake. I just don't believe it, man. I just don't believe that they wanted to make it into a Disney musical, but just couldn't because of hardware limitations. I just don't believe it. Sarah, you love my channel? I'm calling out this slop remake. You know what, Sarah? You were right. Appreciate it. Would this be a better game if it was a new FF game, not a remake, Steve Martin? The problem is that if you didn't call it FF7, it wouldn't have sold as much. That's why they called it remake. You know what I mean? Because that's not truly what it is, but that's the title that would have sold the most copies. So, here we are. You know? Alright. Anyway, let's continue. So this did really well. I was surprised this did really well, man. I talk about how the laughing in FF7 Remake is laughably bad. You know? You go from, like, discovering President Shinra's dead. The guy you thought was the strongest villain in the game gets killed off-stream by an unknown entity. It's like, oh, what? Who is this Sephiroth guy? And then, what do we have? And then, you get this.
Please help me! Hey! Is anyone out there?
Wait, did I say killed off stream? Yeah, see? Oh god, I've got brain rot. Alright, let's continue.
Help me! Well. Pull me up! I'll give you all the money you want! I have killed plenty of it!
Literal children's cartoon writing. Like really drink that line in, guys. Really drink that in.
I'll give you all the money you want. I have killed plenty of it.
It's just, it's so shit. It's so shit. So people were like, yeah, okay, what the fuck, man? That did really well. Now Dines, oh my god. You know what? I am very proud of what I did with this. Dine is absolutely nuclear, man, because as you can see in this, right, OG Dine says he is going to shoot Marlene's head off. When he finds out Marlene's still alive, he's going to go and shoot her head off so that his dead wife is not alone in the afterlife. Like, that's really fucking serious, man. And that's why they fight. Hang on. No, Twitter, just let me volume, for God's sake, stupid app. Okay. And then Dine basically ends on this moment of redemption. He says, you know what, Barrett? I trust you to take care of her. You don't ever make her cry. Those rays of sun, this redemption on the crosses as well. So, yeah, all this was rewritten for Rebirth, for ratings. Sooner Mods, what's going on, you fucking dog? Good to see you, man. Yeah. Like, now look how that scene would look, minus those pesky hardware limitations. Alright. So next scene is this.
Marlene, set a place for Barrett. Yeah, he's looking fit as a fiddle. Hell's his kind doing here? You son of a bitch. Still living on Shinra's kill.
No, man. It ain't like that.
You? Here to help me? Remember when we had that rat problem? You and me set traps, and you got caught in one of them.
Now I'm just picturing Barrett, like, falling into a mousetrap. Like, it's like, yeah. Well, they really, they expanded the relationships with the characters. No, that's just fan fiction. That's just lazy writing. It's just stupid writing. It's just fan fiction crap.
She's alive. just turned 4. She's in Midgar.
I can't stand that. That little grab. I just think it makes him look so childish and immature. It's like, it's almost sickening to watch, like, this behavior. It's not even the same character at this point. Adequate, thank you very much for the 7 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. No longer unalives himself. It's just he goes out in a hail of bullets. It's a pity, because I think his character model actually looks fucking sick. I think it looks kind of cool, man, you know? But they butchered his character in the process. Coolest, thank you. Sorry, old schoolers, thank you for the $5 super chat. Cloud defeats the Arbiters of Fate and Sephiroth, but he gets knocked out by some random thugs. Oh, we're getting there. Believe that. Yeah. So, anyway, let's continue. Instead of a moment of redemption and forgiveness on Barrett, we get this.
You carry that guilt, that weight.
It ends on a moment of hate, but the music thinks this is some triumphant happy moment. Like, what is this dog shit? It's not good writing. For God's sake, it's rubbish. Also, Naceros, thank you very much for the Subaru. Wait for it. Wait for it. And now, the fun part. And now, the one thing that this scene needed. And back to Dine and Barrett. Yeah, because that really needed to happen in the middle of this scene. Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
Fear not, friends. Your chariot awaits. You were innocent, and I was wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Dine as it was intended to be in 1997. Curse those pesky hardware limitations. For that's apparently that's exactly what we would have gotten in the OG game, if it according to you know who, right? David Kang, thank you for the $10 super chat. Keep fighting the good fight, Sebby. We appreciate you for leading the charge. Real OG FF7 fans will never forget how hard the original hit. I appreciate that, man. And I don't even want to play the real fan card. It's just like it's about something bigger than that. It's about something bigger than fandom or even the series itself. It's about the truth. You know, I can't stand seeing history get rewritten around this. I can't stand seeing the lying and the bullying that goes on around this. I can't stand the destruction of... I can't stand seeing such a brilliant, powerful story twisted and mutated into something so bloated and laughably inferior. I can't stand it. It's almost like an affront to art itself. That's kind of what pisses me off so much about this. It's not even about like one game, you know. Also, Faye Ruse, welcome in. Good to see you, Faye. Faye, if you hop into the YouTube chat, I will make you a mod in that. I rhymed. Looks like I'm the artist. So, yeah, absolutely appalling what they've done with Dine. Wait, 30 minutes corridors of time? Piss off. Hang on. Wait. Give me, where's my music? That's good enough. Yeah, this is good enough. We'll use this. And we'll loop it. Sorry, we were stuck on that for ages. Are we positive Nomura isn't writing the story? Well, I just don't know. Yeah. But you know, we don't need to play the blame game on this one. Hang on, I'll just refresh that chat, Pharaohs, and I'll chuck you a mod roll in the YouTube chat. Right. Josh Strife Hayes once said, if you have infinite resources to make a game, you'll probably make something boring. But if you're forced to work within set limitations, you're forced to be more creative. And that's the thing. People are interested in creativity. There's something about creativity that grips us on an almost subconscious level. You know what I mean? There's things I don't even... I've seen things, right? Okay, I'll tell you what, for example. There's a comedy movie called Best in Show, and it's by Christopher Guest, who did Waiting for Guffman, This is Spinal Tap. And all the characters are just dog owners taking their dogs to do a dog show. That's it. I have zero interest in any of this, but I thought it was fantastic. I loved it because it was so excellent for what it was. It was like this weird little mockumentary. All the characters are great. All their acting was fantastic. I don't know, I loved it. And I was watching, like, this shows you the power of something that's really well made. It's something that is not my genre at all, not my tempo. I still enjoyed it completely because the creativity was so excellent. The quality of the product was so good. Yeah. So, anyway, Best in Show is the best. Wayne, it's a great movie. It's like 25 years old, but it's a lot of fun. It's a really fun time. So, I don't know why my YouTube live stream isn't loading. Eben, are you able to make Faye? Are you able to make Faye a mod? Holy shit, that's mad. All right, Eben, please don't abuse that power. That's funny. Okay. FF7 was supposed to feel dingy and dirty, similar to Akira, Mad Max, yeah, and Star Wars, which is what it's based on as well, aesthetically. Like, Shinra's based on the Star Wars army. It's got the very rusted aesthetic. A lot of the robots feel like dirty and worn out and stuff. Noah Spencer, gotta show the Chocobo Sage comparison. Oh yeah, we're getting there. Believe that. I apologize to everyone who's tuned in for mouthwashing. We gotta cover this first, and then we'll get to it. So, it's not just OG fans who dislike big parts of this. Sooner, your wife played it recently without ever playing the OG, and she hated the ending, hated the cat Sith box throwing. Oh, isn't that a great segment? Disliked Corel as a whole, and hated Bugenhagen being an asshole. Yeah, Bugenhagen's an asshole for no reason. He, like, yells in Cloud's face. Stupid man. You know what? Based wife is what I would say. Alright. Oh, you can't find the option for it, Eben? Okay. For some reason, my YouTube live stream is just loading really fucking slow, but I might be able to just pop it open on a different window. Sorry, chat, just 1 second. I'm just adding to the mod crew. Right. Let's pop in here. Gotta love this song. Right. Let's pop. Holy shit. Jesus, 244 people watching on YouTube. Appreciate it. I don't normally look at my view count, but thank you everyone who's tuned in on the YouTube for the live stream. You know what? You were rad. All right, here we go, Faye. You are now a moderator. All right. Use your power wisely. So, all right. Let's get back in here. Your wife recently offered to buy you a replica of Squall's Gunblade. You won at life. Jesus. You know, Isaac? Based wife. That's awesome. That's awesome. Right. Now, this is where you can see the... Now, yes, these are a bit TLDR, you know, but, like, for anyone at the time, for a brief moment, for like 2 days, the meta on Twitter was looking at these shot-by-shot comparisons of these games. I imagine normal people are like, what is this? What's going on here? Yeah. They immediately show off in the remakes that there's another man with a gun arm and gold saucer, whereas in the original, all you told us that a man... Yeah, exactly. I have a long-form YouTube video about this coming out, about the entire Dine segment, and it's incredible. That segment alone shows you every single major problem in Remake and Rebirth. The bloat, the scenes rewritten to be less effective, butchered characters, tone deafness, cringe, zero power scaling. Yeah, it's nuts, man. I appreciate that, Edgar. Thank you. Also, at the same time, don't tell me my view count. I never want to know. I know I literally brought it up, but as a general practice, I like to not know. So, how many more of these have you got in the chamber? I don't know. Do you want me to make more? Blah, 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 blah. Maybe, and then look, I don't have anything against this guy, whatever. Maybe after you've said this, maybe try and connect with some of us that did enjoy it and try to understand our POV a bit. And maybe I'm a bit curt in this response, but I just said, look, I know the POV of people who enjoy these games. They've been sharing their POV with me all week, all right? Okay, I kind of know what they think by now. And I've always known what they think, because in the years since Rebirth released, a section of this fan base has been extremely vocal with what they like about these games. I know what they like about it, all right? With all due respect, the FF7R fandom hasn't exactly won me over with their behavior these last few days. I think you know what I mean. It's not everyone, all right? A few have been chill to me, but overall, I would rather just keep doing my thing. Thanks. So, all right, let's continue. Oh, here we go. Was this not the response you were aiming for? Have any of your posts been an attempt to be won over by the fandom? Well, actually, a lot of people did actually come over. I was at 5,000 Twitter followers before all this happened. Now I'm at 6,000. And, a lot of people have shown support. A lot of people in DMs who I didn't even know were just like, look, man, you don't know me, but I just appreciate you saying this, man. Like, you're actually saying what a lot of us think, but we don't want to say it. Because of, you know, what's happening to you right now. And I'm sorry about that, but stay strong and keep doing it. You know what I mean? There is a silent majority. Is it the silent majority? I don't know, but it's a silent majority. And I just said, like, you know, they're talking about, like, an influence on art, whatever, your discourse. And I just say, look, what art, you know? Remake and Rebirth doesn't aim to be art. It aims to milk the fanbase for everything it's worth for as long as possible. There is no artistic justification for splitting the game into 3 parts over 7 years and cramming it full of filler, rewriting Dyne, watering down Sid, turning Eris's death into a cliffhanger mystery box. You know what I mean? To be solved unsatisfyingly on the next episode of FF7 Rebirth. You know, Eris's death has been mutated into a theory crafting debate piece. That's it. Now we can just generate buzz and discussions and fan lore, fan theories about this for the next 3 years. It's rubbish. Locking Sid and Vincent's gameplay behind part 3. Oh yeah, they had the budget to make Sid and Vincent playable in this game. I think my tinfoil theory is the reason they didn't is to pressure people into buying part 3 even if they didn't like part 2, all right? If I was Shinra and I was remaking these games, that's what I would do, all right? It wasn't a budget thing. They had the budget for Gongaga and Cat-Sith box throwing and Queen's Blood and everything else. And I've even heard people defend this decision. Look, if Sid and Vincent were in the game, no one would ask for them to be removed. Sorry, if Sid and Vincent were playable in Rebirth, no one would ask for that to be undone. Calling the game remake to trick people who wanted a real remake, you know, here's the thing, from an art perspective, none of the choices in FF7R make sense, but from a money perspective, they do. I don't think the trilogy deserves serious artistic analysis because it never aimed to be that to begin with. That's what I think. So, anyway, enough fucking about. We all know the Midgar Zolom scene. We won't watch the whole thing, but I think it's pretty apparent, it's pretty clear which one is a more visually striking image. One has blood, one has powerful use, very strong colors, and also when your characters look up at it, lightning strikes and you hear thunder, you know. It looks painful, it looks really fucking painful, the one on the left. And because you don't see how Sephiroth did it, it actually, you can imagine. I always thought that Sephiroth just picked this thing up with his bare hands and just fucking spiked it on it like that. Because he's strong enough to do that. Sephiroth doesn't even need a sword to fucking do this. But in, you know, in FF7 Reforged, he has to, well, why don't we just watch it? It's short enough. Jules J, thank you for the prime. You alright? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Fuck it. It's only 1 minute. It's going to be a YouTube video. Let's do the whole thing. Sephiroth do this? Fuck. Hello, boys! It's me, Sephiroth! Soon. I'm a snake. Dun 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 dun! Notice how, like, the character's reactions, like, take up more of the shot than the Zolom itself. It's just crap. It's just forgettable. It's unimpactful. It's boring. Rubbish. So, thanks. Isaac, thank you for the super chat. Thanks for calling my wife based. We laughed. Hey, you know what? You were right. Nah, I appreciate that super chat, man. Thank you so much. A very bland, forgettable coloring. I mean, which one? I've even heard that this is based on a painting. Or at the very least, the one on the left, it follows the principles of a painting. Like, if you saw this in like a gallery around the world and you didn't know OG FF7, you wouldn't look out of place, you know? This is like a real work of art, in my opinion. So, Randy, thank you for the $2 super chat. Take a shot every time Sephiroth appears. Fuck. Thank you. Appreciate that. They had the masterpiece mapped out for them. It's insane how much they missed the mark on this. You know what I mean? Like, it should have been the easiest slam dunk in video game history. And instead, they made the worst remake ever. Like, it just is. Like, you know, when I was streaming Metal Gear Solid 3, some of the people there were just like, you gotta see Twin Snakes, man, it ruined everything. And I watched a few scenes from it, I'm like, okay, yeah, backflipping off the missile, this is dumb. Sniper Wolf, I think what does he backflip off a sniper rifle or whatever? You know, there's some silly shit. And I was like, okay, that's cute. Metal Gear Solid fans, I'm gonna show you what a truly bad remake looks like. And I slammed them right in the fucking face with the 3-minute gold saucer dance number, and they're just like, what is this? What the fuck is this, man? Like Twin Snakes is just like a super anime version of Metal Gear Solid, as in like cool anime-fied, whatever, matrixed version. Whereas 7 Rebirth looks like Metal Gear Solid Secret Theater, but then you told the gamers that this was the official game. That's what it's different. It's like Secret Theater levels of bad, but Secret Theater is aware that it's a parody. So, yeah. God. Hey, TLDR! Look, it had to be done. But look, that got 800 fucking likes, man. This one did the best out of them all, in a way. Nothing left to the imagination. It makes it look like he killed him to save Cloud. I guess he's trying to keep Cloud alive because he's remaking the story. It's bullshit no matter what. That's success. Red 13, Dine. There's so much filler I couldn't even put 5 hours into it. I bought Rebirth and I haven't even installed it, and now I'm even less excited to try it. You should make you should make a video essay about this stuff. Many are getting ready, many are getting made from my main YouTube. Yeah. Rebirth is boring, I had to push myself to finish it. That's such a sad sentence. Notice now, chat. Notice how in my comments, it's not everyone just like hating me and saying I'm wrong now. Like, when the evidence is put on display for the whole world to see, it is completely undeniable which is the timeless classic and which is the fanfiction slop, which is artless. AAA bloat, you know. So, get out of here. We got Leslie here, we don't need to worry about him. Gold Saucer, this is basically like, it's amazing they found a way to make Gold Saucer boring, but we don't need to worry about that. It's just like, Actually, you know what? No, this is a massive, this is a massive butchery, because it's just like, look at the level of artistry used in the original Gold Saucer, and then look how Remake forgets completely what made the original scene special. There's use of size, scale, like you're this tiny little thing all the way up in the sky. Like, where even are you? Look at the reveal, and then look at how Rebirth butchers this. Rebirth, in the Rebirth Gold Saucer reveal, there's more shots of like Yuffie, Tifa, and Eris's reactions and the inside of the carriage than the actual park itself. Border City, I gotta get through this drama first and then we'll do it. Because we're making this for YouTube, and it's not every day you accidentally blow up FF Twitter. And I am sorry, once I start a YouTube stream, I can't change the thumbnail, like, midway. So it was either a Twitter thumbnail or it was a mouthwashing thumbnail. It's just YouTube. I know it's a mouthwashing thumbnail, but I can't change it midstream, sadly. Also, Delivery Man, thank you for the $5 super chat. He made it to the stream. Then got you into E33. Should you skip FF8? FF8 is not the first FF you should start on, but it's interesting. It's a very interesting thing. It's interesting to study in terms of like what works and doesn't work about it. But thank you for the super chat. Dan Beer, thank you for the super chat. What's your opinion on Advent Children? I think Advent Children has a lot of spectacular fights, especially the Tifa Church fight. I think that's one of the best things in it. I think a lot of the character redesigns actually look really cool, but it also feels a bit unnecessary. It reads a bit like fan fiction, and I think it was better received than it should have been, because after Final Fantasy The Spirits Within, I think we were just happy to get a real Final Fantasy movie for a change. Spirits Within traumatized us so much that it made Advent Children feel better than it really was, I would say. But, you know, that's my feelings on it. I don't dislike it, but I don't think it's amazing either. All right, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Use of size, use of scale, and it gives this reveal time to breathe. Hell of a reveal. And then this entrance, man. The huge Moogle mouth, the balloons go up, Moogle's on his head, Chocobo mascot walking around, welcome sign. That's just awesome. Dog shit. Just dog shit. So crap. All right, we're not gonna go through all of these. I just wanted to show some of these because these did quite well. Nightwind, thank you for the $3 super chat. I don't always agree with you, but you didn't deserve all the hate on Twitter. Love hearing your opinions on story and literature. Got you into E33. Hey, I appreciate that, Nightwind. Look, here's the thing. I'm fine now, and well, I mean, I was fine at the time. You know, it's not my first rodeo with Twitter, but it wasn't pleasant to go through. Let me tell you that. But it was still better than saying nothing. I would choose go. I'm glad I went through that instead of like not saying anything at all. You know what I mean? And anyone who thinks the same things and is worried about saying that because, you know, a section of this fandom can be completely insane. I hope at least you can see through me at least that you can come out relatively unscathed. Like, if I can survive it, so can you, man. Make sure all your passwords are super long and everything's two-factored, you know, in case some psychopath tries to hack you and dox you and whatever. But, like, as soon as normal people get wind of this, let me put it this way. What kind of killed this was the FF7R, a section of the FF7R fandom. Once this got on the radar of normal people, normal person Twitter, they basically took my side. They're like, no, he's right, man. Like, this is cringe. This tone is not the same. This is bloated as fuck. And all these shot-by-shot comparisons, like, they're not the... you know what I mean? One's better than the other. Or one has a better sense of art than the other, you know? Like, modern graphics, it may have modern graphics, but it's AAA slop to an extent. And then what the 7R fandom figured out is actually to just block me and not retweet me or respond to me at all. And basically, they've all gone radio silent on me, which is smart, because when I think they don't want normal people to take notice. Not that I'm normal, but you know what I mean. 7 Remake can only sort of survive in its little gaslight bubble echo chamber, you could say. I don't know. I mean, what else do I call it, man? If it was the truth, then how come the second that, like, it gets mainstream attention, the mainstream is just like, man, what the fuck? No, these games, this is FF7 Love and Thunder, man. This is FF7 Guardians of the Galaxy. And why are you trying to cancel this guy because he basically told the truth? Because he had an opinion on a video game that looks insane. It looks insane, the reaction. So that's why they, I think, have gone radio silent on it. Or they've just moved on, which is totally fine, you know? You know, of course there's a Bryan Cranston Breaking Bad part of the brain. It's like, it's all about me. And for a few days it was. But no, it is what it is. I'll respond to some chats here. Morrison, IP protection should expire way sooner. The current generation deserves real remakes of classic games, but from other companies. Yeah, I mean, thank you for the super chat, D. Morrison. In a way, these remakes show you actually how strong the building blocks of the original FF7 are to begin with. These characters, this story, these settings, these monsters are so insanely strong that even when you turn it into a fan fiction butchery, which is what Remake and Rebirth are, there's still an audience that will love it. You know what I mean? There's still an audience that will think it's amazing. That's how strong the building blocks of OG FF7 are. But that when they are arranged as inexpertly, as poorly, as amateurishly as this, there are still some people who can love it. If you gave the OG FF7 IP to any other semi-competent video game company that does a real remake of it, the result would be immensely better than this and would blow the market wide open. Instead, we are seeing something that should be impossible. FF7 struggling to sell. That shouldn't be possible. And yet somehow they found a way. So, Randy, thank you for that $2 super chat. The OG FF7 fans want more Leslie. Hey, get out of here, mate. Get out of here. He's all right. Appreciate that. Resident Evil 1 and 2, exactly. Yeah, those are the best models of remakes I've ever seen. So yeah. All right. Enough fucking about. Let's keep going. Yeah, Pillar Collapse. Yeah, whatever. The dance scene in Gold Saucer. Well, I mean, yeah, no, I had something to say about this. But, you know, this is a big old bunch of TLDR as well. There's blah. And then it's just, you know, Cloud Chocobo Whisperer. The North Corel things, Corel Prison. God, don't get me started on this. Jesus. Chocobo Sage. You know what? This is the smallest nitpick ever, but it's so unbelievably stupid that you all have to sit here and witness this. All right. We're going to wrap this up soon, but before then, get ready for this. Like, what even is that? I think he's like one of those Temple of the Ancients creatures. He looks like he's half black mage, half something else, you know, the Chocobo Sage. Anyway, let's see how he looks without hardware limitation.
The Chocobo
Get
Sage.
ready.
A living legend. Surely you've heard of the man.
Did someone say living legend?
You okay, sir?
I am now. Thought I was a goner.
Huh?
Mind telling me who you are? You don't get many visitors out here in the boonies.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That is absolutely dog shit. That is the fact that that isn't even in like the top 50 worst things about Rebirth tells you a lot about these games. Oh, that is trash. That is. I love how that's. It's a tiny detail, yes, but it's also the most amazingly shit detail. It's just hilarious, man. It's so bad. My reaction to Rebirth. Oh god. Cosmos, thank you for the $5 super chat. Rebirth director recently said they lost all OG development files. That's what the devs always want, but the devs don't have records. Here's the thing. I know that they did say they lost all the OG development documents of FF7. I can actually believe that though, because in the 90s, it was different back then. Like, it was actually beyond stupid, a lot of practices. A lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people even thought the internet was going to be a fad back then. Like, that's actually a thing some people said in the 90s. Square deleted the pre-rendered backgrounds for FF7, 8, and 9, which is still painful to even think about. I can believe that they actually lost it, but here's what I have to say about that. It's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Because you know what does exist? The original game, all right? You want to understand why each of those scenes is so effective and so powerful? Just look at the original game in practice. Look at a single scene unfold. There you go. You can see how the music's used, how visuals are used, dialogue, pacing, characters' body language, what's happening in the scene, you know? Like, in order to understand why a movie is good, I don't need to see the behind the scenes of it, man. Like, that can be interesting to see that Aragorn broke his foot when he kicked the helmet in the Two Towers. Did you know that, chat? Did you know that Aragorn broke his foot when he kicked the helmet in the Two Towers? I bet you didn't know that, because no one's ever said that! Alright? Okay, so, I don't need to know that Lord of the Rings is excellent. It's the same thing with OG FF7. Whether we have the original documents or not, it's actually irrelevant to me, because ultimately the result is what matters the most. The final product is what matters. So, anyway, let us continue. Sid Highwind, that was really important, but War Market, oh god. Eris singing 1,000 words. And lastly this, and you know what, after this, I was like, you know what? I've been tweeting about FF7 Rebirth for 10 days straight. I was like, you know what? I think I've made my point. No need to thank me, citizens. My work here is done. And I flew off into a Kingdom Hearts multiverse. I flew off into another dimension where I lived happily ever after with my own private ship. So, Magic Walrus, thank you for the prime. Delivery Man, thank you for the $5 super chat. When you played the OG, you cried when Eris died. When you played Rebirth, you couldn't wait for her to get Sephiroth, and they ruined her character. It's so bad. It's so bad what they did in that scene. It's appalling. So, now I've basically just gone radio silent on Twitter. I might comment on another post if I think it's interesting, but as for me, just tweeting about these shot-by-shot comparisons, I think it's died down. I think we've all heard enough. And I hope that anyone who feels the same way as I do about Remake and Rebirth, I hope that my tweets, I hope that my videos have provided you with a set of arguments and counter-arguments to these points. I hope they have provided you with a set of evidence that you can use in these arguments. Sorry, I hope that these tweets have given you some evidence, and I hope that it's provided even a system of thinking, man. I hope that you guys are able to articulate yourselves why the Remake and Rebirth do not feel as special as the OG, or don't feel special at all, to be honest. Why they feel bloated, boring, cringy in a way that's not the same as the original. Why they don't capture the tone of the OG. I hope that, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to fight this all by myself, you know, and of course be civil. And I will say, obviously do not go after anyone. Don't go after content creators. Don't go after viewers. Don't go after anyone who's in these chats and stuff. Like, let's all be bloody respectful. I can tank it. I can tank the hit. This has never been about, what am I trying to say here? Don't be like them. That's what I'll say. Don't behave like the FF7R fandom. Not all. Just the ones, you know who they are. So, anyway, be civil. Alright, enough fucking about. I will close this video on the tweet where I knew... I don't want to spoil anything. But after my mate and I made this tweet, made this video, and we put our souls into this, I knew, alright, okay, I think this is me starting to go off the deep end. It's time to set up the new PC, it's time to go radio silent, and time to do something else, set up YouTube streaming and all that. So, can I shave my head and sing the bald song, Super Chat? No, but I have a bald friend, and I always reference the scene around him. It's like, oh, that's you! It's like, when you see me, do you get really upset because I have hair? It's like, because that's what they do in the scene. They're just like, you ain't mop heads, are you? You know, it's just like, oh, fuck, God, it's embarrassing. So, you like Rebirth, I made some good points, and you like to listen to my criticism, Alexander. I appreciate that, you know, there's plenty of people, as I say, there's plenty of people in my community who like them, or like parts of them, but they respect that I don't like them. So, and I respect them. Yeah. Oh, yeah, what I would say... When it comes to arguing, all right, if you ever find yourself in a debate or an argument, here's a little pro tip that will carry you, okay? Don't attack the argument, attack the person. No, I got it wrong. I got it wrong. Other way around, other way. Let me say that again. Sorry. Cut. Take two. Okay. Don't attack the person. Attack the argument, all right? Be tough on problems, but be gentle on people. There you go. That's it. Don't insult or call them names and stuff, all right? That's their tactic. That's their forte. If you've got the evidence on your side, if you've got the truth on your side, just, that's all you need. That's all you need, man. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Nightwind, thank you for the $3. Audiences today just want hype moments and aura. They don't care for genuine, good, meaningful storytelling and character development. And the crazy thing is, right, I think that's how... I think that's how some, I guess, producers must think, and, you know, maybe they've got a point there, but the stuff that stays with us the longest is, like, the meaningful stories, the powerful characters. However, it's on the entertainers today to find a way to wrap that up in a way that's interesting. Like, for example, the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, you could actually do that exact movie and remove all the superhero elements from it, and it still works. But we would have never heard of it, you know? The reason we heard of it and the reason we watched it is because it was called Joker. So it is on entertainers to find extremely attractive, interesting packages for powerful stories and moving characters, you know? And it's sad when you get a great package like FF7, but it's just substanceless fanfiction slop. It's sad to say that, so, yeah. FF7 restocked the saga, Multiverse Boogaloo, oh god. Alright, chat. Alright. Remove the entire second movie. I haven't seen the Joker 2, but I have not heard good things. I've heard mixed reviews, shall I say. Nero, thank you for that, Prime. I appreciate that. America, it's facts versus fiction. You love the old FF7, Marco. Your honest take is you were happy that it'll be released on a modern platform, and you notice that they made a lot of revisions to the story. You have an open mind, you can't take any more over the top voice acting and cringy movement. No person moves like that. No, it's really weird to watch, man, some of these characters. You know. 510, E33, a lot of hype moments and aura, but it was all earned with excellent pacing. Yeah, 7 Remake wants to have all the payoff without any build-up. It's fan fiction written and the people, for the people defending the slop we got. Well, it seems like it's aimed for the fanfiction enjoying section of the community. And that's almost not, I'm not meaning to insult them when I say that. There is a section of the FF7 community who just loves literally anything with the FF7 label on it. And those people seem to be enjoying this a lot. But that's not a very big audience, to be honest. Like, the biggest audience is just people who just want to see, I don't know, cool shit that's made really well. I don't know, just tight pacing, interesting storytelling. God, I don't know. Anyway, going off on a tangent here. Super chat. Moto Meet Gonzo. Someone mentioned rapper Megaran earlier. Just wanted to recommend his album Black Materia if you haven't heard it. An FF7 musical that doesn't suck. Is that the one that has... There's one where they mash up like actual rap songs, like by clips, with a Sephiroth beat. It sounds so fun. I secretly love it, even though everyone else I know doesn't like it. It might be a different one. Welter, what days of the week do I stream? I try to stream every Wednesday and every Saturday from about 8 p.m. EST and go from there. I do find it difficult to maintain my streaming schedule somewhat. Sorry. I am focusing a lot on YouTube, and I might even get back into shorts in a bit. Today, I just really wanted to do this YouTube live stream, cover this drama. This has to get made into a YouTube video. I mean, fuck. It's not every day you accidentally burn down Twitter. In fact, for those of you who are curious, you know how people said, people have made a few memes of me from this? I made my own meme, actually, to sort of describe what happened on the FF side of Twitter. In a nutshell, it was basically this. So there was the FF side of Twitter, just sitting there minding their own business. They were talking about part 3. Hamaguchi was saying that, like, oh, you should play the remakes before that. People were arguing over whether Cloud is banging Tifa or Aerith. And then I just came, I was like, Rebirth sucks! And completely capsized the ship. Whatever they were doing before I showed up, that's all on hold. After that. So I don't know, it's a bit of a stupid meme. But it just reminded me of that shot from Jaws, where the shark just leaps onto the boat. That just completely ruins everyone's day. So, and at the end of the day, I wasn't actually setting out to annoy people. I was setting out to... I thought my tweets would get 40 likes among some people who agreed. I didn't mean to burn down the entire platform. And I'm still blown away that it reached the attention of normal people, Twitter. I'm actually blown away that the side of Twitter that was looking at like all the, electric dog drama, some of the OTK stuff, these people started taking note of this and what's going on with Final Fantasy? So yeah. Anyway. Let us continue. Lamau. Noah Spencer, thank you for the $7 super chat. I believe the Zolom shot is based on the World Serpent Jormungandr. Oh, it's absolutely, yeah, it's got to be based on that. And Midgar itself is like a Norse thing. It represents the Ouroboros, the cycle of life and death. Sephiroth killing the Zolom juxtaposes his distance for life. That's interesting. It's like Sephiroth can kill the cycle of life and death himself. That's actually nuts, man. Neo Dragon, thank you. Like the meme you made of me on Twitter, adequate. I can't remember if I've seen that. Remind me. Also, guys, thanks for understanding that I can't respond to everyone's chats. Les enfants terribles. Yeah, exactly. That's the greatest meme about this shit ever. I'll tell you what. I'll put this in the Discord. How about that? I'll give this to you guys so you can play around with it. Let me just for your own amusement. Let me pop it in here. Where is it? It's just called Jaws to my memory. There we go. All right, have fun with it. It's in the Discord now, in the FF7 Rebirth section. Used responsibly. So, all right. Fuck. Does the Zolom represent multiverse BS? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all multiverse now. So you don't view them as remakes. You view them as badly written sequels. I mean, they are. They are. All right, chat. All right. Your timeline, Sunamods, your timeline for a week was Sebby. Someone quote tweeting Sebby, baby elephant video. Sebby, someone talking about Sebby without a quote. Oh, yeah, Suna, it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting watching someone hopped onto one of my tweets and said, for the last 3 days, I've seen people on Twitter just randomly defending Final Fantasy out into the open, referencing someone but not saying their name. Now I know who that is. I thought that was really funny that they wouldn't even say my name, but I can understand why. I think they didn't want any traffic to be driven to my channel, which, you know what? I respect the strategy, all right? It's very Art of War. So, but you know what? It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I can live with that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to end on the tweet that I made. This is the tweet where after I posted it, I knew it was definitely time to stop. The context is that in FF7 Rebirth and Cosmo Canyon, or in the original Cosmo Canyon, you have this legendary scene, or this iconic scene. This bonfire scene, you've got the Anxious Heart music playing, and it's very intimate. It's just your party, and each of you shares an interesting thing. Barrett about the forming of Avalanche. Tifa has a very interesting question, a cryptic question for Cloud. Aeris has this moment where she's like, I'm just alone by myself. Red 13 mentions his father. Now, now, wait till you see how Rebirth handles this scene. The use of atmosphere is very strong here.
So, I'm an ancient. As in, a steward of the planet.
I had to put that fart there.
One of those ancients.
But
or,
now,
to be more precise, the only ancient.
Now it's the Aeris show.
For the most part, it's been a source of pain. I've been held against my will. I've been...
Basically, she tells everyone in the entirety of Cosmo Canyon that she's an ancient, and they're all like, oh, well, I guess she's the main character, so I guess she is. They all just believe her. And now this entire thing is all about her. Okay, chat, I'm going to issue a challenge, all right? The challenge, try not to fall asleep during this scene. If you can manage that, you'll get a special reward. You'll get the special Sebby touch.
Watched. I've been ignored. Even hated. And it's been that way ever since I was little. My blood's been nothing but a curse. If I ever started to forget, something would remind me of what I was and bring me crashing back down to earth. It was always the same. Time after time. I'd be shown a glimmer of hope, only to have it snatched away. I was never gonna be normal.
Thank you, Twisted Ambitions, for the Subaru. Oh no, this is all about her.
It's okay.
Boring.
So my blood's been a curse. But it's also been a blessing. It's brought some wonderful people into my life. Friends that I love. And for once, I think I'm okay. Happy even. And all that pain feels worth it. Even if I can't lead a normal life, there is one thing I can do. Return their kindness. And try to make the most of what I've been given.
Right. Hang on. Hey, shh. Serious. Oh my god. Do you have any idea how long it... My mate and I worked really hard on that perfect timing on everything. We must have spent like half an hour on this video.
It is time.
Oh, this is so bad. Oh. Look, I improved it, alright? I made it more watchable. I made it more entertaining.
Pretty sappy, huh?
This is the high IQ critical analysis of Sebbywebz TV. Only here will you see it. Will you see such intellectual discussions about Final Fantasy? Oh, so my mate and I, when we were making this, like we were crying tears of laughter. It was so immature. And after I posted that, I had a good long think about what I'd done. I was like, you know what? I think I posted enough. I think we can leave it at that. Oh, yes, that's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the high IQ content of Sebbywebz TV. Thank you, Geneva. Thank you, Luna Lily. And thank you, Kick Lol, for that 14-month-aroo. Well, sorry, first time you see me online. Never enjoyed so much with anyone seeing parts of Expedition 33 streamed. I represent your passion when fighting Renoir. Celebrian, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Chihuahuas, I made it better? Damn straight. I was sort of struggling with this, Michael. Oh, God, no build-up. It's just, yeah, they've rewritten this whole... It's just fan fiction. It's just a fan fiction scene. In fact, that's a very important scene to study and go side by side because it shows how much of a fan fiction this whole thing is, man. Did they gather for this purpose or did they make the night about her sooner mods? I don't know. I think it was going to happen anyway, but then it became all about her. I don't know. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed my Eris tweet, ladies and gentlemen. It takes 2 minutes to build up to the good part, but I think it was worth it. Underwater, you think this game would be better if they gave you the latitude to choose story narratives like they do in Baldur's Gate 3? Because you would have crashed out by now if the game let you. Yeah, I mean... Well, you get a date with Red 13, which proves Cloud's a furry, apparently. The lanterns wouldn't rise on that huge bonfire. Ah, yeah, details. So, it feels like Yuna's first sending. I can see that. Rainstorm, what's up? Clone fan, I really opened your eyes. You had no idea Taco Bell existed in the FF7 universe. Oh my god. Alright guys, if you want that... Stop it! No. If you want that legendary Eris clip There it is right there in chat. Follow my Twitter, so on and so forth. Oh, is there an ad happening right now? Fuck. Well, that's okay. Because, guys, we're going to move on to mouth washing. We're going to do it. Bitwizard, you fucking dog. Welcome in. How you doing, mate? Guys, follow my man Bitwizard as well. Sometimes you'll see him erupt out into rage about the state of these remakes himself. You know, he's based, but he has not accidentally gone to war with all of Twitter over it. But you know what? If you did, Bit, you'd be alright. As Barrett said to Leslie, the most important character in FF7, you alright. Alright, thank you everyone who's been waiting for mouthwashing. I appreciate that. We're gonna wrap up this video, and then we're gonna transition over to that game. Chai, you fucking dog! Thank you for the Subaru! Guys, also please chuck a follow to my man, Chai. An up-and-coming rising star in the fighting game community, a Tekken specialist, and you know what? He might even get some variety under his belt as well. Do it. Shadow Rolkin, thank you for the tier 3 for 25 goddamn months. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. Good time with FF discussions. Well, thank you. And look, I'm sorry for everyone who thought that mouthwashing was going to happen like right off the bat. We're 5 hours in, but don't worry, we're going to go for probably 5 hours more, because why not? It's a free country. I haven't streamed in weeks as well, by the way. I need to do this. I want to do this. So, Jonathan Adkins, you enjoyed the remake somewhat, but you think that really bothers you is how Cloud and the gang are supposed to be on the down low. Yeah, no, you're right. In remake, they're subtle as a thrown brick. In remake, the game is aware that they are the main characters, and the NPCs treat you like main characters. Whereas in the OG, you kind of feel like just a bunch of... You really feel like a ragtag crew trying not to draw too much attention to yourself. So... Aginem, thank you. Appreciate it. Alright. Eros or Yuffie hasn't stolen the scene in the last 30 seconds. Better make her front and center or fans will leave. Yeah, I mean, it just feels like... It's just fan fiction, Fantasy 7, at the end of the day. Subtlety? What subtlety, Bitwizard? It's a thing that FF used to have. Alright, we're gonna wrap this up, boys and girls. We're gonna continue. We're gonna do this. So, ladies and gentlemen, that in a nutshell was the FF7 Twitter drama. I didn't mean to burn down the platform, or I don't know, whatever happened. Sorry, I didn't... Cut! Let me retake the closing for this video. Just one second. Okay. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I accidentally caused a firestorm on the FF side of Twitter. So big that even normal people paid attention. That even normal people took notice. Sorry. I honestly thought the first few tweets would actually just get like 40 likes with the people who agreed with it, but it spiraled completely out of control. But don't worry, I survived. And the last thing I will say is that if anyone was involved in that drama, or whatever, the last thing I'll say is, you know, don't go after, like, any people in the comments. Don't go after other communities, alright? None of this was ever about that. All I've done was ever about is criticizing this game, all right? Or it's been about dispelling the lies and the gaslighting surrounding this game, I would say. Actually, you know what? Cut this. We'll just end on Eris's fart, all right? We'll just end on this. We'll just end on this. Screw it.
Pretty sappy, huh?
You know, it's good enough.